Hellbear Smasher's opening of Nyx Assassin Witch Doctor. I agree with Kyle, and I'm not sure if Brian you agree with Kyle as well, in that I'm not a big fan of the double supported double core opening. I like to have a nice mix, and neither one of these supports has great wave clear.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think with supports, as long as there's no clear-cut core picks against the supports, then they're fine. I don't hate dual opening with supports like in this case. You do know it as the two supports, but they're both strong laners, and they're both good against kind of different things. Nyx is a good scout pick-off hero, while Witch Doctor's more of like a sustained follow-up hero. I don't have like a core that I immediately want to pick against these. With that in mind, that means to me that the support pick isn't super fragile or vulnerable to certain weaknesses.
I think what I'd like to see coming out here from Bajui is just more some sort of like aggression with like the mid lane. I like the Earth Spirit pickup. I think that's really nice because it's going to put pressure on other lanes, hopefully, you know. But also, like, I feel like Runic has never had a chance to get his foot in the door. I feel like a lot of the times that the lanes just start going really poorly, and then, you know, he can't even do the thing where you rotate to the top lane and you take that tier 1. He's just really been stuck in that safe lane, and I feel like maybe if they pick something that's going to be very active, I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, laning was certainly a problem. They picked up an Undying, and they weren't really able to actually fully win that lane. The only time they actually got a kill, I think, was when Cancel rotated in. Maybe they trade support for support at some point in time, but I just remember a 2-fix mostly dying a lot in that lane, so.
Well, I'm assuming that it's going to be a kill monster on the Earth Spirit. I'm hoping that they are going to give Uker a hero that can do okay by himself to allow that aggression from Killmonster from the Earth Spirit to actually come out, because I think we all kind of agree that they are a little bit outclassed here too in terms of just players. And what is the best way to do? What is the best thing to do when you know that? It's not sit back and farm. It is go out there and get an advantage on at least one of the lanes. You know, make sure that one lane is very, very secure. And Disruptor picked up by Bajui. Everybody knows Disruptor good for when you're playing from ahead. So if they can make their mark on their safe lane, maybe have Earth Spirit start off there, that could be a start. I'm saying that hesitantly because I'm not entirely convinced.
I mean, I'll just speak up. As a 5-position player, I quite like Disruptor right now. I can't really see why this hero isn't picked a little bit more. Just maybe there are supports that are slightly better when it comes to laning phase. I was going to say Invoker. Slow down, Misery. Give me a moment here. I was going to say I want to see the Stormer Invoker because I think it's a good answer to Wraith King on multiple occasions, right? They've already got Nyx Assassin mana burn. You throw in a Quaswex Invoker in there, you've got full mana burn coverage. That Wraith King's going to have a hard time until he gets the shard. On top of that, really good kiting mechanisms against Wraith King, just through Cold Snap, and Ice Wall, and Tornado, and all those fun things.
You know what Disruptor doesn't do, Cap?
What doesn't he do, Brian?
He doesn't push waves, Cap. That's why a lot of people aren't picking him in the 5 position. Yeah, Thunderstrike's okay, but if you compare him to like Coddle, even Witch Doctor, whose Cask is really good at doing it. Now, this is a hero that does push waves. Pangolier used to be pretty bad against Invoker, but ever since they gave him his Ag Shard, it allows you to still get your roll off even when you're locked down by these continuous disables, such as the Cold Snap. So I do like this hero a lot more against Invoker than I used to, but I have to imagine against Nyx, he's going to struggle a little bit. A reliably carapaceable spell coming out from the Swashbuckle. So I don't necessarily like their lane setup so far. I think Disruptor Wraith King is relatively weak, and Earth Spirit Pango is relatively weak as well. And I think if Pango's mid, it'll also suffer a bit against the Invoker.
This is an Uker specialty, though. This is like supposed to be his hero, his signature. So maybe, you know, he's just feeling confident enough, or perhaps they just want to give him something that's a comfort hero So that will allow the Earth Spirit to perhaps roam around a bit more?
Yeah.
Maybe he like blanked out for the last hour, so that's why he does have confidence.
Yeah.
You know, because I wouldn't have any confidence after that game one, but
Savage.
good for
yeah.
him. Brian also doesn't know how I use Static Storm, so that's fair. If he's gonna say Disruptor doesn't have any wave
That's fair.
clear.
That is a pretty decent wave clear. That would probably kill an entire creep wave.
Yeah, it's every 70 seconds. No problem.
Also, with the shard, you can now steal the kills, the creep waves from Pangos as well, or Earth Spirit rolling in. That's really good. You put it on your teammate.
Yeah.
The moment they come in contact with creeps,
Yes.
stealing last hits. Definitely.
I've tried that
the
chart. Not impressed. Let me just say, not impressed with that. Maybe when you get level 20, you get the extra, if you get that talent, the Thunderstrike charges, and then you can get it that late. Like, maybe it's good. It's interesting they picked Tidehunter. I think that's more of like an overall game, overall game where they're like, okay, we like Tidehunter versus Wraith King. When it comes to specifically team fights, Disruptor and Pangolier both offer disables that can get Tidehunter killed, right? Normally he likes frontlining because he's like, you can't go on me because I'll just cleanse off a disable and get off Ravage anyway. Disruptor and Pango both offer AoE disables that you can't actually get rid of. That being said, I think Hellbear Smashers are really just looking for a hero that's going to lane fine against Wraith King and also is just a general team fight like aura builder that BSA was talking about from last game.
We heard Moxie mentioned the Ace Ricky game that they had at the first game of the league. That was really, really good. Can Ricky fit into this draft still or no? Brian.
I think they need a hero to push buildings like in the game for them. So I don't necessarily love Alacrity Ricky. There's a lot of carries that I would prefer to have, such as the troll that they already did ban out. Their stuns on Burjui so far are relatively lackluster. I would prefer something like a Juggernaut, just some building hitter that is relatively survivable against what we see. Maybe a Midas Boots of Travel Jug. You never know.
10 seconds remaining.
There's Lycan still out there as well when you want a real building hitter. I always kind of like that against Wraith King because another source of mana burn, but then you can also just ignore the Wraith King, kill all his allies.
So what about Disruptor glimpsing you back, right?
Kinetic Field is actually the most annoying thing, I think, for Disruptor. Because, like, offensively, you glimpse back the Lycan, but all his minions just gobble you up anyway. Kinetic Field can be a little bit more powerful as, like, an AoE control device against that hero, but I'd still be okay with it. What else? What else is left?
That is what Burjui is wondering at the moment as well, because they are looking for a ban. Still got 30 seconds in their bonus time. What does Burjui themselves
Terrorblade?
need? Terrorblade for Hellbear Smashers. No, they ban out the Ricky in the end still. The overall last
Terrorblade
pick
would
will
be
go
nice.
to Burjui. I guess we're looking for a cancel hero still.
Yeah.
Dire team pick.
Here it is. It's the Bloodseeker.
Oh, the 1-to-1 counter to Pangolier, I guess is what they're going for. Really strong laner. Not necessarily the hard one position that we're used to seeing, but he does scale very well with just some damage items. Like Maelstrom fits so well into his kit with the spell amp and the attack speed coming out from Blood Rage. Most notably, I'm a bit concerned about the 1-to-1 matchup to the Wraith King, though. I guess they're confident that, like Cap said, the Invoker crowd control during fights, as well as the Tide Anchor Smash, will be enough to reduce the impact of Wraith King super early. But as this game goes on, when Wraith King gets these damage items in BKB, I think he'll scale better. So Hellbear Smashers is much more on a timer for me this time around, but I still like their draft a lot.
I wonder how the new Shard feels with Pango against Bloodseeker. You got Magic Immune, but I'm pretty sure if you get Rupture, I'm just thinking, can he roll up and protect himself? You're Magic Immune, but you're still going to get Rupture damage. And I think Bloodseeker could intentionally hit you and force you to roll away, therefore taking Rupture damage. I'd love to see that. I think that'd be hilarious.
We got the Cancel Mars, by the way, coming out. A little bit more sturdy compared to his previous Void Spirit. Final thoughts on the draft, Brian?
I like Burjui's chances a lot more this game than I did the previous one. I think Hellbear Smashers is the better team, but I think we'll see a much closer game this time around.
All right, that's all that I asked for. Cap, what do you think?
I'm not a big fan of the Mars, mostly because Mars naturally has the mana problems, and you put him against Nyx's Assassin as well as now Quasix Invoker. He ever gets Tornadoed EMP'd before he gets Initiation off, then his impact is just kind of gone. He's not going to be able to do a whole lot. So I will agree with Brian. I think I like their lineup more than last time, but I still think they're going to get smashed.
All right, Moxie, how about you?
I mean, the hype play-by-play caster in me is very excited because we're gonna get to see the Thunderdome, get the Mars Coliseum Arena, you get, you know, the Disruptor Ultimate, but at the end of the day, it's like Cap says, like, I'm concerned that this Mars is not gonna be able to get in there fast enough. I'm very concerned about, you know, those tornadoes coming through and whatnot. And I also just think the way the Hellbear Smashers have been playing, they play so fast. I don't think they're gonna be able to get enough time to get that Wraith King online to be the raid boss that they need to win.
All right, let's find out if Burjui can make a dent in Hellbear Smasher's armor off, or if it's just going to be a quick 2-0 from the Smasher side. Let's find out with our commentary duo of ODPixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Sheev. Yes, so Fogged, we've heard from the panel that they're a little bit more hopeful this game for the draft of Burjui. Would you sort of agree, or do you think that there's every reason to believe that this game might end up being as one-sided as Game 1 was?
Definitely a bit worried. I'm curious to see how Cancel does, in particular on Mars. I've not seen him play this hero too much, and he's playing versus Stormstormer's most played hero. This is Stormstormer on his Invoker, and immediately he skills Exort. I know Panel's talking about like the Tornado EMP. Stormstormer, almost every game I've ever seen him play, he does the same Invoker build. He gets 4 points Quas, 4 points Exort, gets the double Forge Spirits. He actually does not go the Quas Wex build, like, ever, that I've seen. And I just was confirming that. I went through his profile and went through his last 6 games. He went Exort every single game too, so. I mean, we'll see how it works. He has a lot of global gank potential. I always like Exort when you have Nyx Assassin. I think you can set up a lot of kills. And I think that's why they went for Cancel's Mars. It's because it's that beefy, tanky kind of guy that isn't going to be so susceptible to the Nyx as well. But I think they're going to be really limited in making their moves. I think they're just completely cooldown reliant now. Putting this Mars mid, he has to have Arena in order to make good rotations, or he has to just have a really, really good start in the game.
We're seeing, and in terms of sort of these side lane setups, we saw last game, Burjui, they really did start to struggle quite early on in the laning phase. Have they managed to set themselves up for a bit of an easier start this time?
Maybe a bit of an easier one, but I think that they can still get pretty rough. I feel like bottom lane is very strong. I love Bloodseeker versus Pango in the game and in the lane. You just sustain, and you can set up kills pretty easily because you're so speedy when the other lanes get low. I think this bottom lane should be a win for Hellbear Smashers. I think top the Wraith King and the Disruptor can apply some pressure. Not onto the Tide, but they can at least farm, and they can, you know, maybe if Gilger steps out of position, they can maybe set up for him. I feel like they should be able to get farm up there on Runic. Yeah, Gilgar, we'll get a courier at least, so that's going to hurt.
And on sort of that top lane, if Runic is able to get farm and they are able to sort of hold this off and push it late, do you sort of see Burjui having the much of an edge sort of in the later game, or is that not necessarily the case?
I think they covered their bases on the side of Hellbear Smashers. I think they picked themselves this really strong draft that transitions at all stages, and at some point, like let's say if we do get later on, they're gonna have the combo, right? Like the Ravage and the Cataclysm, it's gonna happen. So I have to always just give them a bit of an edge because of that, even into a Wraith King.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, you can never write that off. I mean, their team fight. I mean, Burjui definitely have comparable team fight, as Moxie was saying, with the Mars and Disruptor in the mid game. They are gonna have this good setup to go. Question is, you know, they're sort of more in on the control elements rather than just the straight raw damage that's going to come out from the burst of Hellbear Smashers when these team fights kick off.
It all depends on how the fights do start, right? Like, as if Hellbear Smashers are the ones that start really dictating the pace, which you can kind of imagine they will, because the Nyx Assassin is going to start hunting, they're going to start pressuring these lanes. You know, they're going to start losing heroes before the fight starts. If Burjui, on the other hand, they're the ones who start the fight with a glimpse onto the Tide, with the static field. You know, they're going to start the fight number advantage. Runic, they actually skill Gush up top to look for the kill here.
I mean, he's taking a lot of damage here. Quick little glimpse. Gets Rasmus away from Runic, but definitely showing that as strong as Wraith King is, you've got to be a little careful with the relatively low armor early on.
I mean, Tidehunter actually just owns him. Just being able to skill the Gush in this lane is really putting on that pressure. And Atufe, he's got no mana, and his courier had died, so he actually has to wait for this courier all the way to come back to bring him any type of extra regen to harass. So honestly, Wraith King's actually going to get like no farm up here now because of this, because that courier died, and they're just lacking They're lacking regen. Can't actually hold themselves in place now.
Yeah, well, just that lone fairy fire. And of course, what level is he on the heal at the moment? Yeah, just level 1. I mean, that's not going to do much at all. So, yeah, very tough times for Runic whilst he waits for that extra deliveries to come through. Now we're seeing down bottom. Ace 14 for 3 against the 12 for 2. So Uka definitely finding quite a solid amount from this lane. But at the same time, of course, not quite being able to slow down Ace's farm. As Ace continues to go pretty uncontested. Mid lane, we're seeing Cancel have a bit of an edge here. I guess this is sort of expected, you know, as the Mars early on with the superior nukes, he's just going to be able to set up the wave a little easier.
Yeah, the base damage on Invoker. It's like now he's got the level 2 Exort. Once he gets level 3 Exort, it's going to be much easier for him. But I've seen Cancel, I think that's the second Forge Spirit I want to say that he got kills onto. So just have to be a little careful on Stormstormer for those. And this Exort Invoker, it does pose threats to the side lanes a bit too. So I think that's why they're being a little hesitant. Sunstrike can definitely catch a bunch of these heroes off the mark.
Yeah, this top lane for sure, right? As you said already,
yeah.
The aggression that we've seen Smash be able to come out with, the gush into Gilga just stunning. I mean, that alone is a lot of damage, and you throw a Sunstrike in on top of that. Wraith King and Disruptor have got to be very careful on this top lane how low they do end up sitting.
So much blood.
Yeah, I'm actually quite a big fan. Like, I should have expected, honestly, from someone like Rasmus. You know, Misery, he understands what he wants to do in these lanes. I've seen a lot of times they're just like, oh, Kraken Shout's so good versus both heroes. I'm getting harassed. But this Gush point, it's so valuable because you just have the mana as a tide anyway. And yeah, Wraith King, we've said it like ad nauseum at this point. 2 armor at the start. You're very vulnerable to that. We see also Gilgar. He's already prepping for the later stages because, you know, they've done well in that top lane, but I think they know that they're not just going to smash it. He's starting to get some stacks started for that Tidehunter.
I'd imagine on his own, Rasmus isn't under too much pressure from these two. I mean, can these two look to try and go on Rasmus whilst Gilga's away?
If he steps up too far, perhaps, because they have good chase with the low cooldown on Wraithfire Blastoise, and they do have a Glimpse Guild, so perhaps they could look to punish him. He does have a point saved, though, so I mean, he could just skill Kraken, and then he's probably just fine.
Oh, that's true, actually, yeah. I mean, he's definitely holding it for that sort of exact situation if he feels that they are going to get aggressive on him. So with that in mind, yeah, definitely not too easy for Bajui to do anything about it.
They're thinking about it, though. They're going to try.
Okay.
Let's see if he does skill the Kraken. He does immediately. I like that. That's so heads up. I love that. Like, just seeing him, we can just see that development happen. As mid, Killomancer. Level 2 Maledict.
I mean, Tofu's coming in with the punches. Killomancer.
One more hit and he's probably dead.
Yes, he is. I mean, Tofu will die for it, but he won't mind. Guessing he gets the solo kill. At the same time, top lane, they get the job done. Rasmus and Gilga, they're able to kill off the Wraith King, and as we saw, obviously the Sunstrike was thrown in mid. There wasn't even a Sunstrike involved there. That was just the 2 heroes being able to kill Runic.
Maybe, I guess they had the Orb of Venom as soon as they went up there. 3 Anchor Smashes connecting from Rasmus. The Orb of Venom, they're just, it's a pretty threatening lane up top with this Tidehunter because of that Gush. I like it. Bottom.
They're going on Ace, but here we have the Cask and the Maledict down onto Uka. Ace just standing his ground. He's still got 1 charges to rely on. So he's not too scared at all. And Uka, he's going to end up dying to this Maledict. Again, Tofu just, you can't underestimate this damage from that Maledict to this early stage.
Oh, and Killomancer too. He puts the ward down so he does see them at least. He'll be able to scurry away. Maybe they get the D ward now because of that. Actually, Gilgar, he'll just TP toward top to help out. Make sure Rasmus keeps continuing to get this farm. And he's actually going to be able to get the Ruin as well too. So Cancel does not find that to fill up his bottle. Very nice moves from Gilgar.
Unfortunate there from Cancel, spending that time away from the lane. And the Stormstormer now really starting to take over in that mid when it comes to farm. 30 and 12 against the 25 for 2. Cancel's going to fall behind a little bit in levels.
Yeah, and he's doing the standard build. He's going to be doing the Bots Midas build on that Invoker, as we've seen him do many times in the past.
see it again down bottom. Tofu just pretty much single-handedly bullying Uka away from the wave. As Uka falling low yet again, and how is he for regen? He's totally out of regen, Uka, so
Sunstrike?
spend some time away. Close. Very close there, but not quite.
Wait, he just walked up into the creep wave.
Wait, I thought he was out.
He just walked literally into melee range of the Tidehunter and got Anchor Smash. He was trying to keep the wave out of the tower range, but
Dire's bottom tower.
I mean, he just literally gives a free kill because of it.
I mean, Gilga dies in return, so
Okay.
something.
Maybe
but,
worth it.
Yeah, well,
maybe.
Rasmus, he's going to be happy. He's got level 6.
He's got a full Falcon Blade on the Tidehunter. It's coming out on the Nyx Assassin. He picks it up. So, I mean, mana regen is going to be there. He's going to be tanky. He's going to be really strong to just threaten and pressure this tower. They kept the catapult alive this whole time, too.
Nice.
And there it is.
Yeah, some very heavy pressure for sure.
Again, all 3 cores farming incredibly well. And, I mean, looking at the levels, too, it's the supports are just slightly ahead, too. And we're seeing the rotations start happening now. Cancel, making the first move.
Yeah, they've got to find something big with this. Ace would be a pretty perfect kill. They've got this
Nice.
one for sure. Arena down. Exactly what they needed here with that first move from Cancel.
He has to immediately run back to mid, though. He actually can't stay. As the Sunstrike up top will be off the mark. Yeah, he has to go back mid to ensure that this tower gets defended. Already a 3k gold lead. Okay, tipping between 2 and 3k for Hellbear Smashers, just off the lanes. And their catapult is still alive top. They've kept it alive this entire time. They're even going to bring Ace up top to continue sieging this. The catapult's going to survive
I mean, Runic
this whole time.
got to be careful as well. He's going to need some extra TPs coming in if they do want to try and keep him
Holding
around
the skill
there.
point. He does have his reincarnate. but he's
TPing
actually
out
just
right in front of
TPing.
them. What? What? I mean, come on. He knew that they could see him, surely.
That was...
Why is it TPing?
Dire's top
Oh, that was pretty wild. I mean, he's very dead. Very, very dead, Wraith King.
And Tofu just jukes the Rolling Thunder, and he'll survive as well. Things are starting to pick up pace here. And Brajui starting to struggle already. Top tower is going to die to that first catapult wave. They're going to be able to make moves around the map. Rasmus is actually taking the tough lane now, the bottom lane, so that the pressure won't hurt his team at all.
Oh, no,
I mean,
not the replay.
Oh, we're going to see it again.
Oh, no. I mean, so he did get out. Oh, no, okay, this was the earlier bit where they attempted for the Sunstrike combo. Well,
That
that
was a
time
nice
around,
dodge.
that was Smashers missing their spells. They missed the Impale, they missed the Sunstrike.
I mean, they're clearly enjoying themselves.
Having a
here
bit of a
alongside
laugh,
Hellbear Smashers. And I mean, Stormstormer, he gets Fairy Trinket, best item you can get on the Invoker, and he's got level 8. So he's got the double Forge Spirits are online. So these weak supports, this Disruptor, this Earth Spirit, and even the Pango too. Like most of these heroes are very, very vulnerable to these 2 Forge Spirits early.
Oh, it should be good to get things back in action. Where are we seeing Runic head now? He's going to head down towards the bottom half of the map. Still, of course, a very long road to the Radiance.
And also, I mean, he's heading into Misery's domain, where Misery has been dominating him from the start of the lane, and now he's going to go right back into his
that's
face.
True.
That does not seem very nice for him.
And he's still got the Ravage, of course, didn't he? Oh, no, we're watching it top. I mean, was he fully behind the tree when he went for the TP, or did they clearly see him all the time? Did he think he was hidden?
I think he thought he was. I think they clearly saw him. I think they had the angle to see him from. Yeah, like if you look at that kind of angle, I'm pretty sure they had seen him, but that was just weird. That was. I mean, it's gonna hurt.
I think he was just panicking. You know, he's like, "Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die." You know, he just sort of attempts for a TP out and hopes for the best, but yeah, they had the
that was with vision toggled, said JJ, so they could absolutely see him.
Yeah,
and it's actually. At least it's fortunate that Gilgar clicked Mana Burn on him, though, so he didn't actually lose his ultimate, so he died instantly.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably a better
ult.
situation. That he didn't burn the cooldown of Reincarnate.
Yeah.
He would have been guaranteed dead a second time.
Dude, Gilgar's just got fluffy hats queued up. He's got one and he's got another one queued. I
How
think
many is he
Gilgar
gonna
just really
buy?
likes the fluffy hat.
I mean, he got 2 last
bought
game,
it.
right? He got 2 last game.
Am I missing something? Like, why are people buying so many fluffy hats? What the heck?
I mean, it's...
Dire's top
If you
tower
think
is
about
under
it, right?
attack.
Let's do a comparison here. So, infused range up, right? is essentially plus 120 HP for 200.
Well, they're making a move in, so Stormstormer.
Just a quick match later.
The
Ravage
Ravage.
out onto the three of them. Stormstormer's getting protected. They gets the Sunstrike out, but he does go down. Maladic's out onto the two of them. Cancel and Killermancer in trouble. Tofu keeping them healed up as well with the Voodoo Restoration. Killermancer will tick down to the Maledict. They get a good angle here with the Rolling Thunder, but not quite enough damage. As now they've got to run. Bloodbright down and 2fix. He's going to get clipped by it as Ace is diving in. Won't continue to chase though, so our 2fix is going to be able to get out of there.
In a glimpse?
They've got the control. Have they got the damage? Rasmus? Yeah, they certainly do. They'll bring him down. Runic also able to come in with the Wraith Fire Blast. An Impale from Gilga holds back the Wraith King.
Dire's middle tower.
2fix dodged the Sunstrike as well. Runic still trying to chase here. Stun up in 2. They've got Killermancer right behind 2.
Let's see what they can do here. Another great stun from Gilga. Putting a stop to that chase from Killermancer and Runic. It's allowing Tofu to continue to run. Gilga, Carapace out. We've got 3 heroes after him here, and they will grab him. Glimpse back from a 2fix. As Gilga, he makes them work for it. Another great stun. But this time around, there's no escape for him as Gilga will finally go down.
Decent punchback, at least. If they stop the gold lead, they get themselves some nice experience, too, on their supports, which they much need. And they stop the push. So pretty decent. And now they're looking to actually continue this pressure down here. This seems a little bit ambitious. Yeah, they'll back away. Not bad. And they kill Stormstormer, so they do slow him down a little bit there with that nice ult there from Cancel.
But no, yeah. Let's see if Killermancer, he's not got anyone with him. He's not going to be able to set up on this. But no, if you think about it, dude, Fluffy Hat is just a more cost-efficient infused raindrop, right? You know, it's 125
But it's a slot
HP.
that you don't. It's a slot though. Like raindrop disappears and it gives you mana regen constantly.
Yeah, but
health.
Fluffy Hat, you're also going to be selling and getting half the money back. So it's costing half the price of it. So it's a 50% discount on raindrop. Sure, you don't get any mana regen, but who cares about 0.8 mana regen? It's nothing. And it doesn't burn through. You don't lose it. And, you know, what else does he put in his slots at the moment? He's been as slot efficient as he can for this stage of the game, you know.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I've just been seeing it so much, like these double fluff. That's really cool. Really interesting stuff going on in this Dota lately.
On mid. Still keeping the pressure on here. Killermancer, he's going to turn. Cancel does get the arena down. They've got the Static Storm follow-up onto the two of them. Stormstormer, he's in trouble. They take him down. They'll also look over towards Tofu. Tofu, can he live with this heal? He cannot. The magnetized damage from Killermancer enough to take him out. They'll glimpse back Gilga. And they go, and they set up for a third here on this defense. It looks like they may just be able to do so. Spears out from Cancel as Bajui, they're holding the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, this trio right here, the triple ultimates on their team just nicely holding every time Stormstormer shows. And there we go. Some space for Runic to farm. He did get pressured out of the lane, actually, though, on the Wraith King. We did see Rasmus laning toward him down bottom and does make him go back to base. But, nice hold. Keeping this mid tower alive as long as possible. Now, though, I think this is where it does die. They used all their ults. Stormstormer, he's going to commit forward with alacrity. Very tough for them to hold this time.
Yeah, this is going to be a very strong push. See how much they want to hang around here. As you say, maybe just trying to slow them down a little bit. Continue to give space for Runic to catch up.
Did you read the Fluffy Hat text, by the way? Some nice alliteration going on in there.
Fine and functional foppery for the fashion-forward fighter. What on earth is foppery?
I have no idea.
I thought that was something rude.
At first, but then I read foppery. I gotta look it up.
I'm gonna look it up right. What is it? What is foppery?
Foppery. Is it a noun? Okay, effective.
That's not a word.
Excessive concern with one's clothes and experience. Appearance, sorry.
Uka. You're getting taken out there by the combo. Foppery.
Foolish character or action. Interesting.
Never. They just made up that word. I think Valve paid off.
I just found the definition.
Yeah, that. Foppery. Well, anyway, in the river, Gilga. He's on the run. Nice juke here, but he's going to be dragged back. Oh, spear off the mark. Allows Gilga to get the spike carapace off. They're going to have to drop the Static Storm.
He's just walking away.
He's fine now. Little off there with the combo. As Gilga's just toying with them. They won't be able to kill him this time.
Okay, well, that was a bit of a miss there by Cancel. Next glimpse,
he's dragged back again. This time he gets the job done. Cancel. He comes back to rectify his error from earlier. and will get the kill. Redeemed.
Definitely redeemed. A little bit of a static storm waste there from Atufix trying to get that kill. So they won't have that for the next 50 seconds, and we'll see how they split themselves up. Still looking to be a little active. It's 15-minute mark coming in. Ace.
Oh, Cancel.
Still got the ult from Cancel.
Oh, he doesn't
Can't
feel
quite.
confident with Ace being as speedy as he is. Killermancer's able to get in and grab that bounty rune.
He looks pretty dead now, though.
He certainly does. As they'll let the kill go the way of Ace. More glory for the Bloodseeker as the Ace halfway towards his BKB. Over on the side of Bajui, what have we got coming soon? Killermancer's got the Veil done. Very nice for, of course, buffing up the overall output of the team. And Runic is getting the space. 3k towards the Relic. So he's slowly getting himself back in the game here.
Yeah, not too bad. As Gilger continues to just scout things out, give some information for his team. I mean, Rasmus is... I'm watching him and wondering what he's going to actually build for. Because he is
He's got a lot of
unbelievably
money.
farmed.
That's true. I mean,
okay.
He's got the hood queued up, but he may be tempted for someone else. Oh, he's going to buy
Okay.
a Vlads. All right, so it's
He had
nothing
the Vlad
crazy.
first queued up, and then
Oh,
he
okay.
switched to Hood, and then now he's... Okay.
I mean, Vlad's, yeah, certainly makes sense, right? You're going to have this Bloodseeker going crazy in the fights. That extra bit of lifesteal for him is going to really allow Ace to just continue to fully commit. And stay pretty confidently at very high HP.
It's just value. It's armor,
Wow.
it's damage, it's lifesteal, it's the AoE lifesteal too. And Rasmus now at this point, 1835 HP. If he gets glimpsed into Static Storm, like they're not gonna kill him in these Static Storms. So he's gonna be tough for them when he does show up. Because they don't really have solutions for him besides just like kiting away from him.
No, for sure. Yeah. And then anytime he's not in the Static Storm, every single Anchor Smash is gonna heal him of course a significant chunk of his HP.
Yeah, and he went for the full aggro build. If you see, it's max gush. It's not your 144 build. It's 4 points in that gush. That's -7 armor and a pretty significant amount of burst. As Atufix, he'll be found, and here comes that Rasmus. Here comes that Tide.
Yeah, this is a dead disruptor.
Crunch.
And this is, probably with the combination with like Falcon Blade, Bracer, and Vlad's, you have pretty much the perfect amount of sort of mana sustain, right? You know, you're not going to have any mana problems at all now as this Tide with sort of these 3 items in combination.
Yeah, and he one-shots range creeps with his Anchor Smash, which is really nice for the push mid. Cancel with his fresh Desolator can actually have enough damage to set up for Gilgar as also bottom.
Yeah, they're in underneath the tower. They found Stormer. Uka gets the angle for the Rolling Thunder, takes him out. Cast bounces though, going to cause trouble for the two of them as Ace takes down Killermancer. Uka going for the TP out. Rasmus is not going to let him escape. Dropping the Ravage to stop him as they take down the two of them. But now, without a doubt, they may be down 5k, but already a much better game from Bajui in comparison to what we saw from them in game 1 as they are getting things done.
Yeah, they're applying pressure. They're making that space for Runic, which, you know, if the Pango dies, Earth Spirit dies, whatever. That's good. They use the Ravage, they force movements down toward bottom, and they set themselves up some kills. That was really good when you are behind like this, when your Wraith King literally can't get involved. So, good stuff for them. And he's now going to be able to start getting involved as Radiance is done, and as you previously mentioned, the Veil on the Earth Spirit was done before. So, his damage is going to be pretty strong inside the fights with that spell damage.
And for Cancel as well, you know, if he keeps this up, this is going to look very strong. As you mentioned, the good timing on the Deso and his involvement, you know, 6-1 and 2. We saw last game, he really struggled to sort of have an impact on the Void Spirit. This time round, he's fitting in very nicely with his mark.
And look at this, he's invis. They scan Stormer. He gets the pin as well.
The rest of the team is heading over. Stormer will fall before the rest of Smash can get in the area to help turn things around. Gilga, he's going to open up onto Cancel as Cancel, he's out. See if the rest of Bajui can get away. They can't. Killermancer's been ruptured. So they'll lose the two of them. But I imagine, the plan there from Hellbear Smash is to connect a little quicker there, as losing Stormer does take away a bit of their pushing potential.
Glyph's still active, or still available for the Dire, so they'll be able to stop this push decently. And they're going to, you can drawing down the lanes. Make sure you can get and push these lanes up as much as you can, so you only just lose a tower. They might be able to get that 20-minute outpost. They're pinging it already. This tower's going to go down. I do believe Hellbear Smashers are going to be able to get it in time.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I see as well, Tofu. He's got the Holy Locket complete. I mean, that, of course, That is some incredible value on these heroes like the Witch Doctor, right? With that provides such sort of heals.
It's really, really nice. And you can just heal your teammate very nicely too from a distance. I love it. Stats on it are good too now. I mean, it's gotten a lot better, and that's that's the fluffy head buildup. For Zhui, they've got that Radiance. Runic leading the charge.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Someone called
I mean, you can
What does Gilger have? Didn't he spend his gold? Oh, okay, he bought a shard on the Nyx. I was like, he was very close to Blink Dagger on this Nyx. That shard's gonna be, I mean, that'll be nice. The Vendetta with the ganks, with the Sunstrikes. Oh, baby.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And they're starting to go ferocious, Smashers. Zhui taking the tier 2 down at the bottom.
They can fight this if they make it in time.
They've still got the strong team. I don't think they're going to be able to move this quick though.
No,
They're smoking now. It's too late. Too late as Smashers just, they do have a solid amount of physical to take Roche down pretty quickly.
They're looking to fight anyway, maybe.
This could be difficult fighting into the Aegis.
They just saw that sentry place down. The Forge Spirit is hitting the sentry they just placed, so they know there's smoke there.
Cancel. Smoke dispels. He knows they're in the trees.
He's got to be careful how he initiates. Cancel's still pretty susceptible to just getting burst down. If he does just walk in and start it. They have to get a better start rather than him just stepping in.
Well, Smasher's still very much ready to go. They got the big Blink Dagger on Rasmus now.
That'll be big. Now they can actually start fights on their own accord rather than just charging in with the Nyx Assassin Invis. But Zhui, they're going to need this cancel BKB for him to really kick off the fights because it's concerning for him at the moment to just walk in, as we're saying. Starting to get quite a bit more on the map here, Smashers, as Gilger is giving some information. He's scouting, looking for an opportunity for the Sunstrike setup. But for Zhui, they're playing together. They're playing cautious.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, maybe down 7k, but again, just much more sensible play here from them in comparison to what we saw in the first game. Making sure that they could do whatever they can to just allow Runic to continue to slowly progress his farm. Gilger is going to try to open up here, over to the side, heading over for Storm up there with the Ravage. It's caught the three of them. They got the follow-up damage though. Uka's trying to roll his way out of it, but the Death Lord and the Maledict, Uka, he's going to take a lot of damage here from these Maledict. Takes cancel, comes in with the arena. Ace, he's in the midst of it. He's standing his ground. The backup's there from Gilger with the Impale onto the two of them. Ace could just stand and continue to rip through them all as he takes down Cancel, takes down Runic the once, and they're going to be able to chase him down and take him down a second time.
Wow. What a great fight. I mean, Gilger just leading the charge, and then that Blink Dagger. That really just seals the case. The Tidehunter Blink. Rasmus jumps in, gets that beautiful Ravage, and then the Vlad's lifesteal. All this little bit of lifesteal. If we just watch that, like Ace, he healed up so much. He actually was about to die, but heals up his entire HP pool because of that, as well as his thirst. And I guess the healing, the healing from the Witch Doctor can kick into. I think he got Holy Locketed and healed up too.
Definitely, that was a painful fight for Bajui to lose. They were already, of course, behind.
Yeah.
But they managed to really sort of hold that deficit and not allow anything else to slip away. But a team fight loss like that has, again, knocked them even further down. As Ace,
so tough,
getting stronger and stronger, nearly level 18.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast, and it's so hard to play. Wraith King, he always wants to get Radiance, as we see. He's even got a Grow Bow to make it stronger and all that. But when you're running around with Radiance versus Nyx Assassin, it's a free stun every 10 seconds. He's always able to just carapace you too, and we see that Ravage.
I guess the four.
We see the follow up. I mean, Ukar bailed out too, so he left his team in the tough spot. Look at Ace dropping so low. I mean, he has the Aegis during all of it, but look at these nice heals, just healing up all those skeletons and everything too.
I'm back in the action. Uka, he's rolling out. He's got the TP going, so we'll manage to get away. Good job he did as well, as he was bleeding out, had been ruptured.
Dire's middle tower is under
Can't believe how tanky Nyx Assassin is. I mean, you're right, it's the fluffy hats. Dude, 1400 HP. I mean, I feel like he's just actually like, really, really strong for just having like boots, it looks like.
That's allowing him to get stun after stun out. Top lane, Stormer. He's coming in with the setup onto Cancel and Killermancer. Popping the BKB so he could just stay committed onto this Mars. Cancel trying to get out with the use of this arena to hold them back. But Ace, he's in. He's running him down into the trees. Cancel. He's got very few places to hide. He's going to try for the TP out, but the overbearing amount of damage there with the Maledicent Death Ward means there's no escape for him. Gilga trying to stay on top of Killermancer. Killermancer will get out. Ooh, it hits.
Not quite.
It isn't enough. 13k lead though. These core losses really hurting Pajui as they slip further and further behind.
I mean, Rasmus is an absolute beast. You know, okay, now he's also going to be able to find a counter versus those annoying silencers. He's going to get a BKB as well on the Tide. These fights just not looking to get any easier for the side of Pajui.
Oh, here we go. They're going to try and burst him, but they got enough though. They haven't. Oh, wait, Uka, careful. Living on the edge there. He did want to go for the TP, but of course aware that that Anchor Smash was still hitting pretty hard. He has to opt to roll out of there with the Thunder, and he will make it out. He's able to live another day. Meanwhile though, Killermancer, he's certainly in a spot of bother here. As there's no moving for him. Gilga does go down. There's going to be a buyback from Killermancer. Ace, he's pretty speedy. Arena's out from Cancel. They managed to trap Ace Fnatic, but of course Ace, he's still got the BKB ready to pop if he feels under threat. He'll pop it now. Continue to push back Cancel. They burst through the Wraith King the once. 2 buybacks now as that 2fix looks to rejoin the fray as well. Death Ward rips through Runic's second life as the Wraith King goes down for good. There's that 2fix. And Hookah still having to be cautious how close they get to Ace. As Ace more than ready to run them down if they step outside of their high ground. They won't though. They'll stay high ground and keep themselves away, but they're now down 20k. As that was a pretty painful fight. Both the Mars, Cancel, and Runic just down for 30 seconds. There's no buybacks on any of them now. It's a dieback from Killermancer, dieback from Atufix. They have very little to defend against this.
They can't focus fire any of these targets. Like Ace, he's too fast to really focus, and now he's getting too strong, so he can just turn and fight. And I mean, Rasmus he parks himself every single time in the perfect spot. He absorbs so much damage there, just every single time in the right places. And I love his item build. I mean, it all worked out. The Falcon Blade was great for him to be able to continue pressure, and this Vlad's just has been enabling Ace so much and his team.
Gilga.
And look at this Gilger already.
Oh, he's on the hunt, and he's found an opening. Uka's out.
Oh, the cast bounces.
23k down. I mean, this game is, so you go about 10 minutes ago, and it, Bajui were doing it, as you can see on the graph, it was a very sort of steady increase from Hellbear Smashes. It was not getting anywhere near out of control as it did as early as it did in game 1 for Bajui. But now it's really kicked in, and we're sort of back to a very similar spot. In terms of the trajectory this lead Hellbear Smashers has, as they did in game 1, as Bajui are falling very far behind.
And they still don't even have the BKBs. Both Runic as well as Cancel not quite finishing it. They're trying to make a move on top, Gilger.
I mean, they're trying to take him out, but the stun to hold back Runic, and Runic caught by the spike carapace. Runic, he's dead the once. Cancel's popped the arena, but with the BKB up on Ace, Ace just turns, fights into the face of Cancel. Rasmus comes over with the Ravage onto a 2fix. It's 3 dead, make that 4 with Runic about to go down a second time. Uka, the last one left alive. Very little he can do here. He's trying to find something out of this, but he's not going to be able to find anything at all, as he's just got to try and do his best to get out. He's rolling around, doing his best, but it's too much damage. Gilga even able to sidestep the swashbuckle, so even he doesn't fall here, as they lose no one, and Bajui lose everything.
The celebratory BKB from Stormer as they lead to the high ground, and there's no way for Bajui to hold them. Clean fights and just very clean stuff again. Just Hellbear Smashers. They're looking good this game. Looking good this series.
Oh, they certainly are. No messing around here from the Smashers. 2 games and 2 very, very large victories here when it comes to sort of the difference in what teams were able to achieve in It's been pretty much both 30-minute games. Gilga does die, messing around close to the fountain. The rest of the Smashers looking to close it as the tier 4s are down. Now on to the Ancient. Rasmus, he's ready to look for some fun. He's going in onto our 2-fix. He's able to get the kill. Commits with the BKB. Smashes him out with the Anchor Smash. And as the Ancient will fall, we can expect to see the GG soon. Council's trying to put a stop to this, but Ace is just BKBing and ending the game. He's done with this one. There's a smile there on Rasmus, as indeed this game, this series for Hellbear Smashers, a relatively simple 2-0 for them, as they certainly did show that they were on another level compared to Bajui here.
Yeah, big fan of the drafting style that they set up in both games, and just it seems like they didn't do anything like super complicated, right? I feel like they just played this very clean, straightforward type of Dota. Like their draft, you can understand what they're going for with it, and the way that they itemized and the way they laned and everything, it was just all smart. It wasn't anything tricky. Like, you know, you look at OG and you're like, the hell are they doing with this 5-core kind of draft? This is just very straightforward from Hellbear Smashers. Just a 1-to-1 kind of counters, good team fight, good pressure, and just the way that they moved around the map. They didn't really give any space to Bajui to catch back up. This was good stuff. Good stuff to see from Rasmus and the boys.
That was indeed, yeah. Hellbear Smashers and themselves making this series look rather easy and making themselves look very good now with this 2-0 against Bajui.
2-0, well deserved for Hellbear Smashers indeed. Let's break down the game, break down the series, talk to the winners after the break.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Follow me, baby, I'll take you for the ride of your life. Take my hand and I'll lead you to the other side. You say you've never met anyone like me. Well, what can I say? Stay on my good side and there's no need to be afraid.
I've seen things you won't believe. I've seen things you won't believe.
Okay, you wanna test your faith? Go on, just try to prove me wrong. Okay, you wanna test your faith? Go on. Come with me, babe, and I'll show you where the demons play. Let me lead you down. I know the way. You say you've never
seeing things you won't believe.
Okay, you wanna test your faith? Go on, just try to prove me wrong. Okay, you wanna test your faith? Go on.
Definitely a more even game than the first game of the series between Hellbear Smashers and Burjui. Still going the way of Hellbear Smashers, though. There were quite a few moments where we saw Burjui attempting to get a fight together, to get their wombo combo rolling, but every time it just didn't work out. Every time it was Hellbear Smashers that was already prepared to fight, read them like a book, and in the end were victorious. I think we were kind of expecting it to go that way. Here to break the game down, Cap and Moxie, and we were expecting it to go that way. And it was, rather than saying that Burjui didn't play well, it was really fun to see the Hellbear Smashers having that much fun in a game like this.
True. They looked very, very happy as they were playing. There were a lot of little giggles. There was some sort of a tip early on that we didn't quite catch, but definitely saw Rasmus laughing pretty hard. But, you know, I will say, though, I was happy to see that Burjui, they showed signs of life.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking a lot about that earlier on, the fact that, you know, they really needed to be making the space as for Runic, because Runic just feels like, you know, he was tied to that bottom lane. He never got the chance to ever move to the top and start taking tower or anything like that. And I will say they did make that happen early on. But unfortunately, you know, the writing was on the wall after a certain point with the Hellbear Smashers. They just got that momentum, got the items, and, you know, what are you going to do? You're a Wraith King, and there's a Nyx that's going to carapace around your Radiance every time.
Maybe that's why they didn't do well. Did you see the names on the heroes?
No, I did not.
There was Uker playing the Disruptor.
Oh.
A 2-fix on the Earth Spirit. They're all
Why are you pointing out our production's
That's why
fault?
they didn't win game 2. That's why.
We're trying
They had
to
a good
figure
chance
it out.
either way. But no, I mean, that was... you know what? Uker fan here. I thought his interview was very cute at the end of the game. Looked like he was having some fun too with the Pango.
Yeah.
He was just laughing as he was rolled up and getting pushed around by the Bloodseeker. You know, you gotta take something out of that game because it was certainly a stomp. So
yeah,
try not to read too much into it just because you probably face the best team in the lower divisions. So.
Yeah, and they knew that too, right? Because you're mentioning Uker's interview before the series, and they knew that they were getting into a big challenge and that it was going to be a tough match. And you need to be able to keep your spirits up like that if you are getting run over like you do, you did, at least for Burjui. And on top of that, Burjui, they have already got a win on the board as well. So, you know, they're 1-1. It's not, you know, the end of the world. And for Hellbear Smashers, though, I must say, like, they look on top of the food chain here for the European DPC League in the lower division. And they have not been pressured in their first series against No Bounty Hunter. They haven't been pressured. They haven't been pressured here today, Moxie. They look solid, and they're making a good case for themselves for the longevity of the team as well.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive when you consider the fact that this was a stack that Rasmus threw together kind of last minute, and they're playing just very, very well cohesively. They're making the right calls, especially, you know, in game number 1 when you had the Ember Spirit that actually made the rotation over to the mid lane a little bit early to make sure that they were able to take that tower. So, you know, whatever it is, it just seems like all those pieces are coming together and they've got very good synergy with one another. So it's going to be fun to see how far they progress here, especially with such talented players.
Yeah, I believe also, that Coach T Governor is going to be very happy sitting at home watching this game. And I believe we have, with camera even. Yes, there we go. Hello, Ace. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Ace. I got a question. You guys have come together fairly recently before the season started, so super fresh squad. Have you had the talk with your whole team about time investment goals for the season, like that you were all on the same page in regards to the DPC league?
I mean, at the first we talked about that our goal was to get into the upper division, but since we didn't make it there, then our goal was to, just get up there again, right? Get like one of the top spots in the lower division to get there. Then sadly we probably can't make. I mean, we can't make the first major, but we wanna aim for the second one.
Yeah. So it's then already you guys are on the same page that you're in it for the long haul, right?
Yeah, that's the plan for sure.
Yeah. Ace, current events aside here, that series, you guys kind of stomped Burjui. I actually wanted to go back into your history a little bit. I know that you've been playing for a long time now. In fact, you used to play with your brother Link, but I saw that you played, in order to get a beta key into Dota2, you played a 1v1 against Crit. Can you tell me about that? I didn't know that.
That's true. Yeah, there was this 1v1 tournament about, that was a couple, right? And if you want them, you get a beta key for Dota2. We both played and we both got to the finals and met in the finals. And as I remember, I think it was like BO5 1v1 mid, right? And we got into the 2-2 game, and for the final game, it was 2-2. And then I won, and that's how I got it. And then you actually got 2 beta keys, and I gave the other one to him.
Anyway. That's so wholesome.
Was he gonna do the same thing if he won?
Probably.
That's what family is for.
I have a question that's similar in the line to what Shiver was asking earlier. You are a fairly new squad coming together. My question is just like, how much does that play into like the role and the shot calling in game? Is it one of those things where you trust each other? If they say go go go, this is time, you guys just go in blindly, or is there like a little bit of hesitation sometimes? Like, no, I don't think that this is the right time or whatnot. How does that all work?
I mean, I guess right now like there's a lot of people making calls, but we talked about overall if some call is made, we should just try to like follow it, blindly, and then we'll see how it goes. Like we'll talk after the game if the call was bad, right? But if everybody follows the same call, it usually makes the call like a lot stronger. And just overall, Misery makes a call, he's the captain, right? We should also he has like the final call,
Makes sense.
So we'll just follow it. But overall, like there's a lot of calls from like everybody kinda.
And have you talked to Gilgir about his addiction to fluffy hats?
I mean, he talks about it. We don't talk to him about it. He's the one talking about it.
Is one lucky? Is that why he keeps 2 of them, or?
I don't know. It's just the new bracer.
The new bracer?
It is.
Yeah.
It's very gold efficient. I'm with Gilgir on that one. He's a smart man. Tell him I said that.
We'll probably see fluffy hats on every support, like going in some days from now, some weeks maybe.
All right, I can't wait to see it. Gilgir is the one to start it all. I will remember. Thank you, Ace, for taking the time to talk to us. I'm sure that if you guys keep playing the way you just did, we're going to talk to you guys a lot more, and we're going to see a lot more out of Hellbear Smashers. With, by the way, Hellbear Smashers. Oh, is he still here?
No.
No, Ace, come back.
It's okay, we're still here.
I am just curious because we have. Hey, he's here. He's here. Yes. All right. I have a quick question because in the upper division we had 2 teams that also had their own team name and that got organizations. I don't know if you were looking for one. If you want to plug yourself on the show right here, right now.
No, we will be looking. Oh, we are kind of looking for sure. Would be nice.
DMs are open.
Organizations. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Don't change your banner, though. I love the little stick figure Hellbear Smasher on your mid banners.
That's good.
Cap, you had anything to add?
Oh, no. I mean...
Shout out to Mud Golans for the inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, thanks, Ace, for the interview. I was just going to say, I mean, these guys are going to the upper division, so any orgs, now's the time to pick them up.
Get on board now.
You can have the winner of lower division and then have a team in the upper division
Dota
next season.
hipsters,
So.
pay attention.
Yep. Thank you, Ace. Sorry for for calling you back there.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, indeed, we will see a lot more of Hellbear Smashers. They are obviously the top team right now in the lower division, and we can take a look at the standings and see where that brings the rest of the 7 squads. Hellbear Smashers together with Creepwave, a 2-0, both for them. Again, the top 2 of the regions go to the upper division next season. The rest, I mean, that doesn't really matter. Like, it's top 2 or bust.
Yeah.
Really. When you're in this situation. And Burjui 1-1, Brain 1-1. Just Hippomaniacs and Metaphor Pro not doing too hot, but yeah, again, it's just about the top. It's brutal, Moxie. It's top 2 or nothing. There's 8 teams.
It is. You know, it's nice though being able to have this lower division. The fact that we get to see some of these other players that, you know, they've been pub stars for quite a while, and you know, you'd only know them if you were playing in those high MMR pubs. But now there's a chance for people to start to get to know them here in the more professional setting and start to get a following. And you know, maybe these teams don't necessarily end up sticking together, especially, you know, some of the open qualifier teams. But it's a chance for them to start, you know, making a name for themselves and putting value on themselves. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal for sure. And any final words on Burjui there, Cap? Before we close the series?
They had a tough opponent. Good luck next series.
Good luck next series. They did have to play with the stand-in, of course, as well, making it a little bit more tricky, because even though Cancel's a very good player, it is different when you've practiced with a player and that player is not there. And this is my time to press the button. Now you know what's going to happen when I press this button, Cap.
What?
I think when I press this button, first of all, if I don't, we're going to listen to this a lot. All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. It is red button time here at DreamLeague Season 14, powered by Intel, and I'm the Quizmaster again. Love it. We have music to back up my quiz mastery. Great. My two panelists in Dota, but also panelists in this impromptu game show are Cap and Moxie, and they will be battling it out against each other.
Excuse me, I believe you mean undefeated Quizmaster Cap.
I'm the
That's
Quizmaster.
the title I would like to... Okay, fine. Undefeated quiz contestant Cap?
Yes, I will be allowing that one. And as the undefeated quiz contestant, Cap, do you have preference?
Piggy, please! Yeah!
That means this one's for you, Moxie.
Sweet.
Please. Thank you. I was going to make sure that your sound works.
It works.
It works.
We're overgrown children, Shira. Of course we're going to hit the button as soon as it's given to us.
It's good. Because you are going to need to hit the button when you figure out what is displayed on the screen. Now, we're going to see... Well done.
1-0, baby!
No, that was a trial round. We're going to start with a distorted picture, and we're going to continue making it undistorted until one of you knows which hero, Dota2 hero, is portrayed in the picture. Are you ready, Moxie?
I'm so ready. Let's go.
Are you ready, Cap?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Let's get started with the first picture, please.
Moxie, you did watch the quiz between me and Kyle, right?
Yeah, I don't know how we didn't get those. Shiver sounded just like it.
Good. I'm glad that you'll be a more worthy opponent than Kyle was.
This is
behind us. Oh, my camera's going too far.
Disruptor.
It is indeed Disruptor. 1 point to Mr. Cat.
I'm ruthless, Moxie. It doesn't matter if
My chair was
still turning
spinning.
around in the chair and I didn't care.
I can't reach the floor, Cap. I'm too short. I couldn't stop myself.
I knew Moxie wasn't ready, but I didn't care.
He's heartless.
All right, let's look behind us. Then you can look behind you. You can look in front of it too, but this is maybe a little bit easier.
I'm just going to kick Cap off of his stool on this next
All right,
one.
if you both look at the same screen, at least, you know, then you have the same. All right, let's move on to the next hero.
I think I know what it is already. Oh my god.
Spirit Breaker?
No.
No! Oh, curses.
Oh. I mean, I get to call it. She doesn't get to do it again, right?
Correct.
What? That's not fair.
What could it be? I can't. Hold up. Is that... That's an intelligence hero. Is it Puck?
It's just Puck. Oh, all right.
Oh, God, I'm evil.
Next one, Moxie. Come on.
Darkseer.
Yes.
That was closer. You almost got me. That was close.
Damn, my aging reflexes. Hard being 8,000 years old.
3-0 at the moment.
You're ageless.
As we keep seeing
I
Darkseer in higher and higher definition. Next one is this.
Bane?
Correct. Moxie gets the point.
Well played.
Very nice. Got it.
Damn. I was like, could be Riki.
I mean,
I was not confident.
it was purple. It is
well
3-1 now, still in favor of Cap, of course. Next up.
Faceless Void.
Correct. And that brings us to a 4-1 score. And I didn't want to be completely spoilery, but it was only 5, so Cap already won after the first 3.
Let's go, baby!
Oh my god! That almost hit me in the face. Nice guy.
I'm sorry.
Cap's trying to take me out now. Oh my god.
Get out of here, Moxie.
Too big
Go
of
to the
a
casting desk.
contender. I think that means only one thing. I think that means next time we're going to have to put Cap against Owen, because that seems to be the only contender left that hasn't fallen in the quiz mastery
like how they're playing dark music. This is the darkest
timeline where
Cap continues to win.
Wait until you get to Cap's court. It's gonna get real dark.
That is true. I can't wait for that. Actually, that's gonna be great. The reason why you hear dark music is that something is about to happen that nobody really likes, but everybody has to deal with. First
death,
of all,
Cheever?
no,
Is it death?
no, I was gonna say.
I wanted to win. I promise.
I was gonna say breaks, but I'm gonna tell you why we're having a break that is a little bit longer than average. Is because the start time of the series is set. The start time of the series is 6 p.m. of the next series, and that's a hard start time, so we can't start earlier than that. We obviously will start a little bit earlier talking about the series, but the game itself won't start before that time, meaning we have about a half an hour break or something like that. And that is why you hear the spooky sounds. So, yeah, I'm spelling it out for you. We'll be back in 30 minutes. It is break time here at DreamLeague Season 14. But when we're back, it is upper division time with Tundra Esports and High Coast Esports.
Pre-order now to enjoy exclusive gifts worth $356.
I was soaking up the sun with you, umbrella dreams. Put your hand over my chest until we fell asleep. Find I was soaking up the sun with you, umbrella dreams. Put your hand over my chest until we fell asleep. Summer dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way to stay like this forever with you. With you. Drifting away, watching your body like a road of fire. Desire. Strawberry, vanilla ice cream dripping on your tongue. Strangers from small towns are begging for the drugs. Summer dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way. I wanna find a way to stay like this forever with you. I was soaking up the sun with you, umbrella dreams. Put your hand over my chest until we fell asleep. Summer dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way to stay like was soaking up the sun with you, umbrella dreams. Put your hand over my chest until we fell asleep. Summer dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way to stay like this forever with you. With you.
Pre-order now to enjoy exclusive gifts worth $356.
Drifting away, watching your body like a rolling desire. Strawberry, vanilla, ice cream dripping on your tongue. Strangers from small towns are begging for the drugs. Summer dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way. I wanna find a way to stay like this forever with you. I was soaking up the sun with you, umbrella dreams. Put your hand over my chest until we fell asleep. Summer dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way. was soaking up the sun with you, umbrella dreams. Put your hand over my chest until we fell asleep. I was soaking up the sun with you, umbrella dreams. Put your hand over my chest until we fell asleep. was soaking up the sun with you, umbrella dreams. Put your hand over my chest until we fell asleep. Summer dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way to stay like this forever with you. With you. Drifting away, watching your body like a rolling strangers from small towns are begging for the drugs. Summer dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way. I wanna find a way to stay like this forever with you. I was soaking up the sun with you, umbrella dreams. Put your hand over my chest until we fell asleep. Summer dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way to stay like this forever with you. With you. Drifting away, watching your body like a rolling Strawberry, vanilla ice cream dripping on your tongue. Straight was soaking up the sun with you, umbrella dreams. Put your hand over my chest until we fell asleep. Summer, dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way to stay like this forever with you. With you. Drifting away, watching your body like a rolling strangers from small towns are begging for the drugs. Summer, dreaming, endless feeling. Don't wake me up, don't wake me up. I wanna find a way. I wanna find a way to stay like this forever with you.
I don't know about you guys, but one song on repeat is that's too much for me. I am very excited and can't wait for this action, both so that we don't have to hear that song anymore for a little bit, and both because we're gonna get to watch some Dota2. Of course, you're watching DreamLeague Season 14, powered by Intel, and we have Tundra versus High Coast as our series coming up in the upper division of the European DPC, joined by ODPixel and Cap. And guys, we're gonna start real sweet, real simple with the standings, because these two teams, they're not doing that hot so far, and they are at the bottom. Cap,
They're sad boys. Not having a great run, either one of them. But honestly, this is kind of how you would expect the division to be breaking down ultimately. The four invited teams are on top. Alliance and Viking GG right there on the cusp. Maybe they'll be able to upset somebody and take one of those four slots. And then Tundra and High Coast down at the bottom, just because they're not quite at Alliance level or Viking GG level just yet. But we'll see. Maybe they will prove me wrong about that as time goes on.
Oh, and these two teams, they also haven't had it too easy in terms of the teams they faced so far, with High Coast losing to OG in Liquid and Tundra losing to OG in Secret. So they had a little bit of the tougher opponents there as well, right?
Sure, yeah. And I think, I mean, in my predictions, I did place Tundra a little higher up. I think that they will make a bit of a comeback in some of the future series, this one as well in particular. So I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised to actually see them still be in the bottom 2 by the end of the league. I think Tundra will manage to make it out of there. I do think it's going to be very hard for High Coast, though. I think they have struggled in the games that we've seen them, and I think in pretty much every single matchup, you're not going to have High Coast as the favourites necessarily going into it, unless they really sort of improve their game.
Yeah, we talked in the lower division. We talked about how the main goal, the only goal for all the 8 teams in the lower division is getting in those top 2, because that will put you directly into the Division 1. I think when we talk about these 2 teams in particular, in the upper division, normally you talk a little bit about how you want to be at the top 4 to make it to the major, but that is for the more experienced teams a little bit more important. I think when you're looking at these 2 squads, both of them are young teams, and the goal here is to just not get bottom 2.
Could be. I mean, just depends on how ambitious they are. I am not a player, so I'm able to set my ambitions. Traditionally, what I do is set them just one rung above where I'm at, you know? But we heard from Stormer, and the rest of those guys, Hellbear Smashers, that was the name I was looking for. They were like, our plan is to go to the major for the 2nd season, even though they're in the lower division right now. So they have set their sights several steps above, and I'm sure that at least I'm going to agree with Owen here that I feel like Tundra is the squad that I actually expect to do a little bit better than High Coast. They absolutely could be setting their sights and being able to make the major, but their current setting is not looking so hot. And if I'm just going to go ahead and make a prediction right now, the loser of this series is going out for sure.
All right. Well, let's focus a little bit more on Tundra, because when you say you expect them to do a little bit better than High Coast here, why is that?
Well, for a start, the series that we have seen them, it was OG and Secret, right? As caps that they played, and they did take a game off both of those squads, right? Sure, some of the game. Well, I think pretty much both of the games were games where some crazy stuff sort of happened and some weird drafts and things. But still, it was good play from Tundra, and I'm always going to sort of believe in a squad that does sort of have Fodder as the brain around it, because there's something about his sort of way that he thinks about the game that I think has just always been very good, and has allowed Fodder's squad to take down teams such as Secret and things, because he's had this history, he's had this past, he's been on these lineups with some of the best brains in Dota, but he's been alongside Puppey, he knows how to think about the game, and Tundra absolutely still on my radar to make it into the top 4 by the end of the league.
Yeah, he played under as you said, Puppey, and under PPD as a captain, and under Kuro as a captain. He's got a little bit of all 3 of those in him, perhaps. Let's also hear from Biver and how he and the team feel before going into this series.
Being picked up by Tundra definitely feels great. I think having some stability alongside you when you practice and when you play is just very nice. It's also exciting to play for a new organization that hasn't really been in Dota before. So I'm very happy to see that just for the scene in general, that the new organization feels welcome and that they want to be part of Dota. So it's really nice. The series against OG, I think, obviously they're a really good team, and we put up a fight. I think we all felt we had chances to win the series, but overall we made too many mistakes to beat a team like OG. So I would say it's both on us and them capitalizing on our mistakes pretty well.
BKB's out from mid, but they've got the control. The hook shot comes straight in. Buying time for
the series against High Coast, I treat it as any other game, really. I mean, every game in this tournament is very important. They're also a newer team. They have some guys who are playing some new roles and stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely looking for us to come out on top, and I'm pretty confident. We're gonna win, sure.
We're pretty confident, he says, and I think the interviewer might have prompted him to be a little bit more confident after that. So he comes out, yes,
can you give us a line to say that you're going to win? We're going to win, sure.
Yeah. There you go. Of course, that was Biver. And he mentions High Coast Esports, also a fresh squad. We're going to focus a little bit on them now, because he's talking, we heard Biver say they're also talking a little bit about new roles, and in particular, Chessie offlane. Owen, have you been liking it?
He's had his good games, he's had his bad games. Some heroes, it did look rather rough. Of course, the game where he was playing the Mars, it was a tough game for sure, but it definitely seemed like he was a little out of his comfort zone. I think they're fine to still go for these sort of heroes for Chessie that he used to excel in the mid lane. I think like Carl said, he wasn't necessarily a big fan of seeing Chessie just only playing like the mid style on the side lane, but I think it can work. They're these pucks, these death prophets. We're seeing the top teams in the world pick them and play well, and they're the puck in particular. That's something that Chessie's just always been very good at. So I'd like to see them sort of secure him these heroes that he was sort of a superstar on when he used to play the mid lane, and go with it on the off lane rather than trying to force him into these heroes that he's not played nearly as much as.
Oh, what Cap rather? What player are you going to focus on? What's your player to watch when you're watching High Coast?
Well, I think one player to watch is definitely Chessie, just because it's a question mark about how he's going to be doing in his role. Otherwise, well, when I look at Tundra, I just think individually, skill-wise, I look at some of those players and I believe in them a little bit more. But two players that I think are still somewhat question marks to me and could be really good is Era and Supreme. Era because he's kind of moved back into this 4-position role, which I think he's kind of danced around. Obviously, he's been 1 position, 5 position, and I know he didn't want to be a captain. So now he's down to be a playmaking 4. We'll see how that goes. I'm not convinced that he can stand toe-to-toe with like truly the legends of 4 position, the gods that have come before him, but maybe he can prove me wrong.
Maybe he can indeed. I'm also curious to hear from Chessie and how he feels before going into this one.
Yeah, so we didn't really have the start that we would have hoped for with 2 losses in the bag, but we are improving at a dramatic rate. It is going so quickly. If you compare the team, we are just today as to just 2 weeks ago, even 1 week ago, it's going really quickly. We are highly motivated. Everyone is playing tons of Dota. We are practicing every single day. Our hard work is going to pay off, and you're going to be able to see it in some of our games. Chicken Fighters became High Coast Esports because we were looking for an organization and we managed to qualify for Division 1. And obviously you want to have financial support in the space of Dota. You want to be able to do this for a living and feel that you're not wasting your time for nothing. So they came with a lucrative offer. We had a couple of different organizations we were in talks to, and we landed with this organization.
Prisman's take. This OG's doing a lot of damage. Boxes getting it popped in the end there.
Yeah, I think Tundra is a really good opponent. They have shown in previous installment being Mud Golem that they can go up against any team in the world, but I don't think there's something that we can't handle, and forward to the challenge.
He looks forward to the challenge, and the challenge it will be, because if you believe in my panelists, they both think that Tundra has a little bit of the upper hand coming into the series. Now, I'm very curious. We already talked about Chessie and Cap, you saying him being the player to watch. Oh, and I'm curious if there's any particular lane that you are going to keep an eye on.
I'd probably say I think the mid's going to be pretty interesting. Because we have 9 against Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we've seen in the games. I think particularly Game 3 of the last series that Tundra played. It was sort of this dynamic where Skeeter was doing fine. He was getting farm. But both 33 and 9 were falling very far behind, and it was just a little too heavy for sort of Skeeter to carry on his own. So this mid lane in particular just seems very volatile. Whoever sort of loses mid, they don't seem like the biggest comeback players. You know, when Supreme gets behind, I don't really see him sort of bring himself back into the game, and likewise for 9. So I think a lot of this game could be down to the mid matchup. If somebody gets dumpstered in the first 10 minutes in mid, I think that team's going to really struggle to get their mid back into any sort of playmaking position, because they both play these sort of spirits, these heroes that need to snowball and don't really recover if they get behind early.
You on board with that, Cap?
Yeah, I'm definitely on board with that, just because Supreme was one of the players that I think is kind of an X factor for High Coast. I think the other X factor for this team as a whole is perhaps just more of talking about like the overall team aspect. If I look at Tundra and I feel like, okay, individually I like these players a little bit more, maybe as a group together of High Coast, they've got a little bit better synergy, and I think that's something that Era has been in the past for Chicken Fighters has shown some leadership for. Zibe, I mean, they're like what, four 4 Swedes, I think, on this roster.
The High Coast, yes, 4 Swedes.
Yeah,
and
so it could be
Supreme.
one of those situations where the sum of the parts is greater than the individuals. Right?
Yeah.
So I still need to see more from Charlie outside of Lycan as well. I need to be more convinced by Charlie and Chessie from their performance for this week. But hey, that interview was very motivating, right?
Yeah.
Chessie was like, we're learning really fast. And
Improving
they got to.
rapidly.
Yeah, they got to
And we'll
improve
see
quick.
it here. Yes, we'll see how much they have improved as we are ready to go into the draft of this first upper division series of the day. We'll see you after this.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
Figure it out. I'm up if you're down. I'll wait around.
In the upper division of the European DPC, we find ourselves with 2 teams making it through the Decider tournament. We have Tundra Esports facing up against High Coast Esports, and we are ready for the draft of the first game. We are joined by Purge on the big screen. I'm still joined by Cap and OD Pixel as well. And Kevin, going into this one, both Cap and Owen have said that they are slightly considering Tundra as the favorite here. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. Even watching like the pregame interviews, I just felt like thinking back to how Tundra played against OG, they got pretty close to winning the series, all things considered. I think Skeeter's been playing excellent as their carry, whereas on the other side, High Coast had more simpler to point out mistakes, I felt like. So that just gives me a lot more confidence with Tundra.
Okay, I have just household announcement thing.
What we got?
We got mod golems listed here, but mod golems are actually Tundra. Please, Val, help us switch this around because this is stupid. And Chicken Fighters is High Coast. So just so people are aware, Tundra is on the Dire side for mod golems and High Coast on the Radiant side.
I'm pretty sure that it also is messing with Dota buff stuff as well, because you can only look at the Tundra or Mud Golems drafts, but not them combined, which is really annoying.
Yes, it is. And it hopefully, eventually, well, it's almost Thursday, right? Almost Thursday, almost workday, will almost hopefully be fixed. We got our nice opener, Creeper of the Light, Ember Spirit. It's been a little bit of a staple today.
Yeah, Chicken Fighters feels like they're trying to do what other people have done better, right?
I mean, that's not a bad thing to do, right? They've not found anything that works yet.
I mean, they tried the Charlie IO 2 times in a row yesterday. Was that yesterday or against Liquid anyway?
I mean, that
didn't work.
There was some respect for that. Look, Mud Golems banned it.
Yeah.
They were showing some respect for the Charlie IO, respect that Carl was not giving him.
They would have tried it again if they let them. They're just going to their second favorite strat, someone else did.
But yeah, I think Coddle, Ember, there's nothing really wrong with this opener unless you feel like there is a particular weakness that you can abuse with Coddle, like OG tried to show with the Naga Siren. Mud Golem's going to go for Juggernaut real early, which is kind of what I prefer to be seeing from Skeeter. If he's not playing like the hard carry, give him Juggernaut or Ursa. Those are the 2 aggressive cores that I feel like he does the best with.
But to pick him up this early, you like it, that? Because...
I don't like the fact that they have doubled down on cores in their opener.
Void Spirit might be support.
It absolutely could be. You're definitely not wrong on that. But I value Void Spirit's support when it gives you an advantage in the draft. I don't value it as a straight up like if I think this is for Void Spirit already, I don't put a whole lot of value in it. Does that make sense?
I would agree with that. It's a little weird to pick Jug this early, but he has been a pretty consistent pick by other teams as well. So I think his value's moved up a slight amount, and maybe today's the day where he goes to first phase instead of second. It could also just be some strat that they have prepped here. It doesn't reveal that much about their lanes. I feel like Jug's going to lane well pretty much no matter what happens.
It does mean that for High Coast, we're going to see them focus their bans on all the supports, which is not something that we commonly see. So that's a little bit of a refreshing turn of events with the Crystal Maiden ban. I believe that's our second phase Crystal Maiden ban.
Yeah.
Very
good
powerful.
Jug dual lane.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say. All you have.
Totally agree. Very good supports to be able to lane with Juggernaut. I think both of those heroes that we see right now take a good advantage of their natural mobility and way to get in. Takes value out of both Inkswell and then CM Aura because their constant mana usage. You know what I would have liked from Mud Golems better is we've seen an opener is Void Spirit OD because then I feel like, okay, either one of those could be mid lane or it could be like a 3 OD with a 4 Void Spirit where you've actually got some natural synergy in lane where the Imprisonment sets up for the Remnant. I think there are certainly problems with that opener, but I would still feel a little bit better about it. One of the big things as I'm looking for is just more wave clear, because it has been a topic of conversation. And I think that's going to be something that Mud Golems are going to need to pick up on, especially since with the Coddle Ember, like you've got loads of that, right? Ember is able to freely split push lanes all the time. Coddle is one of the few 5 positions that feels super good about like solo defending his safe lane tower. Even Jakiro, it feels like you get pretty messy when it comes to trying to defend that tower. You're like, I'm going to nuke down one wave, and then they've dove you and you're dead. Coddle is way stronger in that regard.
Yeah, only hero that's even close to as good as maybe Treant Protector, but it's not nearly as safe or instant, so
yeah,
definitely feels safe to open it up right away. Other bans, Jug counters basically, high single target physical damage, doesn't care about magic immunity. Both Troll and Ursa can deal with him, so pretty straightforward bans. The Doom one's a little surprising to me, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess on High Coast, the 33 is the only one who would play the Doom, right? I don't know. Do they play it in other roles, High Coast? And it said the ban was a bit awkward because there is a chance the Void Spirit could be 33's hero anyway.
For Tundra, they have not, in the upper division DPC, they have not played Doom yet, but obviously they've only played 2 series.
Yeah. Could be some scrim knowledge there, something like that. Could be very effective against a hero like Ember, obviously. Doesn't matter how many times you hit him with Choco Magic. He's not going to get his spells back until Doom ends, so. And then the Oracle pick to give them some counterplay to any setup from Ember or other initiations.
I'm fairly certain I remember 9... Was it 9 playing Doom? One of the NA teams was playing Doom mid a lot a while ago, but it could be wrong.
9 does like the sturdy ones. Like he likes Pango mid a lot as well.
Yeah, he was
like weird heroes mid.
Yeah.
If I describe 9's playstyle, I feel like he is sort of a lane dominator. Like he likes the lane dominating matchups, and I think that's where I kind of agree with Owen in that like the mid lane matchup is pretty important. Who's going to be winning that one over? The 4-minute power runes especially going to be something to watch. And then he plays a lot of those mobile heroes, the Storm Spirits, Quaps, those kind of heroes.
Maybe he can't really fit in because they've already got Jug in the carry, but I was going to say, does he play Morph? Because it would have been a pretty good Morph game against Shaker and Ember. But maybe having the Jug already sort of makes that a little difficult.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to force... Maybe they can force Void Spirit into a 3, but...
I think
surprised.
Yeah, I guess...
Hey, it's Charlie Lycan!
Alright, so this is what Charlie's best hero, right?
Yeah.
It's a really good pick. There's not that much AoE on the Mud Golem side, so it's going to be pretty easy to run them down. Cogs is going to be a little annoying sometimes to have to, like, they can actually disrupt the fight a little bit, but I think it's a really solid time to pick Lycan here.
And also, if it's Chicken Fighters is one of those teams that, if they were successful, I would imagine them to be the shortest game time. Because I feel like they are the lineup that is going to tend for more snowbally push lineups, right? They're more likely to be doing core Bristleback or, this Lycan that Charlie's so famous for. They're more likely to be picking a DK strategy or something like that. So if they are successful at it, I feel like they are the ones that are actually going to be ending games quickly.
Is there any kind of offlane hero that would still fit that high-pace game style that you are mentioning?
Well... I'm not fully aware of like what Chessie's hero pool is for offlaners, like more traditional offlaners, let's say.
I can tell you what he's played so far in the league. It's
okay, hit me with it.
Pugna, Bloodseeker, Mars, OD, Darkseer. 5 different heroes, 5 different games.
I see Darkseer being fine, right? You're going to be able to enable the Ember Spirit and the Lycan a bit more. Honestly, though, if I was Chicken Fighters, I'd be a little bit worried about... I don't know how strong you'd think this is, but if Mud Golems need to do the Void Spirit as mid and then do the Clockwork as the 4, if they get 33 Bloodseeker for themselves as the last pick, that Blood Right to clean out sort of the pushes.
Oh, okay.
Puck.
So I was going to say, Puck stands out to me, and here's why. I think Mud Golems could actually use a Puck because it's good control against the Lycan, and we've seen the phase shift attack actually do kind of good against dealing with some of these Lycan minions. They got to get some really good AoE control because you are playing on Oracle. And let me just tell you, I hate this matchup. I hate playing Oracle against Lycan. It's so hard. to play that hero against Lycan because he just runs his whole army at you. If you ever show anywhere on the map, he's going to chase you down. One time I had to play against like Mason, who picked up a Shadow Blade on Lycan and hunted me down that way. It was terrible. All right, we have no control whatsoever out of that pick, but...
Wave clear.
Wave clear.
Just kill him. That's your control.
Yeah, just
kill him.
Just win the lane.
Yeah,
I mean,
easy.
I'll be honest. I mean, I think High Coast Esports lineup is better. I like it. This is some good stuff. I mean, it's a Charlie Lycan lineup, and I don't see anything really wrong with the draft around it.
I agree with
the one negative, I think, is that Timber will lane pretty self-sufficiently against Lycan and does have some kill threat against him. So that'll allow Biver to go do things in other places in the map. So that will free things up a little bit. So maybe they have some shots here if they can win that lane.
All right. Thank you so much, Perch. Cap, shots if they win their lane, shots for Tundra if they win their lanes, that is. But are you on board with saying that this last pick on the side of Tundra is not convincing you to sway their way?
Yeah, they have, their 4 position is playing Clockwork, Biver Clockwork, is that it?
Seems so.
Yeah, okay. And he's going to be roaming into an Ember Spirit, Void Spirit lane. Like, I don't feel like he's going to have super great opportunities to be very impactful. He's got a Puck that he's matched up against in the safe lane, so that's another hero you're not really able to put pressure on. The self-sufficiency of the Timbersaw is great when I feel like my 4 position is able to make big moves and really disrupt other cores' farms, but I'm not convinced. I think overall I just like the big picture of High Coast lineup that is going to be taking towers. I feel like their team fight's strong. I think it was a good Lycan game.
Good Lycan game, Owen.
Yeah, it's hard. I do, as I said, I do like what High Coast has done, but now just thinking about it, I'm just sort of saying, do I see a future where this Timbersaw is just never going to die? And I feel I've seen them with it before, and it gets to the point where this Timber's just not going to die. I think that they'll be fine, actually. I think Tundra will take this game. I think the Timbersaw pick is not going to die. I think 0 or 1 deaths by the end of the game. Let's go.
Let's see if 33 can make Owen's prediction true. Let's find out what's going to happen in this first game then with Moxie and Fogged.
Well, that's some pretty big talk here, Fogged, coming from Owen, saying this Timber is not going to die, or if he does, he only dies once. What do you think about this? Is Timber really that unkillable, or is Owen just being very, very optimistic, which we know and love him for?
If he gets off to a good start, I feel like this is a pretty solid Timber game for sure. They have a lot of very predicted damage, so it's like these spells that are just going to hit, and that's the damage, right? Like we always talk about this where it's where items change some heroes. In this one, she's going to change later on, but the early damage, it's very predictable. Coddle Blast, Earthshaker Stun, Puck spells. The hood for this Timbersaw is going to make him pretty damn immortal. So we'll see how these lanes, the matchups actually end up being, as we're going to see some dodging, as the panel is mentioning, and in particular, I think High Coast is going to be looking for that matchup, dodging the Lycan away from the Timber.
Absolutely, and they're playing very defensively over here by this rune spot. They're all grouped up and trying to just get any information possible by sending out the wolves. But over on that low ground, you have the side of Mud Golems approaching here.
Ujibe.
Oh, they needs to run a little bit more, but he is going to get rooted in place thanks to Fata. There's the spin, and that's going to be our first blood. Very nicely done, Chessie. Gonna just jump away here. A slippery fellow, that Puck.
They're going to get all 4 bounty runes.
And that is not the way you want to start a game for sure.
No, definitely not. Not with a very snowball-y kind of draft when you are playing with this Lycan. Definitely don't want to be playing at that deficit. And let's see, that lane matchup, Timber is going to run toward bottom, and it's going to be Void Spirit versus Lycan. So Charlie will be pretty happy. And they're going to have the Ember and the Coddle down there versus that big pressure lane, which is very ideal for them. This is actually quite nice setup. Chessie, a cute little orb to make sure that he can keep blocking the off lane. And they're going to fissure block it too.
Very nice here, trying to equalize those lanes a little bit more, put it more in their favor. And yeah, so got Charlie facing up against 9 here in the mid lane. It's a little bit more comfortable for him for sure.
Yeah, he'll be able to get much better, like, uncontested farm as it's like. And not saying that he's going to shut down the Void Spirit by any means. 9 is going to free farm, but Timber isn't going to bully him out of the lane, which would happen if he was bottom. Seeing Biver already start to pull waves and also block the pull camp. He does get the block pull. Nicely done by Biver. And oh, look, the bounty's still there. Oh.
Yeah. Well, they get the other one too. Just for good measure. There we go, all of them. They were getting too comfy. They're like, oh yeah, someone will grab that, I'm sure. And they just totally forgot. Man, imagine being on top of the world like that, Fog, where you could afford to forget to grab a bounty rune.
Yeah. Seeing mid, 9 has killed 3 wolves so far, I believe. And he's trying to go for another one. So he's going to get, I mean, a 4th wolf. That's very significant in mid. You see he's already got a decent experience lead for the moment.
1 wolf has been killed by the enemy team.
I only said 1. I swear I saw 2 die because he killed the initial one too, but okay. That's bottom, 33. This lane he has to be a little cautious in the first few levels because it's just so much harass and magic damage.
Yeah, that Cuddle Blast definitely does not feel great when you are a Timbersaw and you just want people to go and click you. Viper, though, making a little bit of moves here. Just going to harass a bit with the battery assault. Try to drag those creeps over and upwards here. Pretty quiet game, though, otherwise. After that first blood, feels like everyone's just playing pretty cautiously. Granted, it is difficult to, you know, go and hold down a puck or something like that. Timber's not exactly the easiest kill in the world, despite the large amounts of magic damage in that lane.
We might have a bit of a quiet one for some moments, unless like Fada dies because he's out of position versus this Earthshaker. I don't see many kill threats happening on the map. Like Zibe, he has boots versus Clockwork, so he's speedy, shouldn't get caught. Ember Spirit's not going to get threatened. Lycan shouldn't. Yeah, this is looking to be like a pretty stale start here. Skeeter is going to start getting hit by Chessie a lot, so top maybe the safe lane can get punished, but they can't kill Puck or Earthshaker. Like a Fissure can just push them out, and for the most part, Era shouldn't actually be playing in the lane anyway.
I have a feeling, though, once we get those level 6 online for the... man, I mean, it's tough, right, though? Because, you know, you want to see this Void Spirit start to get pretty active. You want to see 9 start to make these rotations, but if he leaves the lane, Charlie is just going to be chomping away over at that tower, too.
Yeah, maybe the 4-minute runes could look to kick something off, because there are some big things that Biver can make happen. He does have some, you know, if he finds the Earthshaker, if he finds a position to actually get people in cogs, he actually does find Supreme for a second.
Gonna need a little bit more damage to take him down, though, so just a good, healthy amount of harass going on in that bottom lane.
Seen those 4 bounties having their effect already. A 1k gold lead for the side of Tundra.
Definitely feels nice. Skeeter here in the top lane, just putting a little harass onto Chessie. But again, it's a puck. What are you going to do? You know, you really do need Fata to be there. And even then, you have to just already have chunked away at some damage on him. But of course, with an Oracle, once they reach that level 3, the kill potential definitely goes up with the 2 points of the Purifying Flames.
Yeah, still just gonna be. It's gonna require like a misplay from Chessie or them committing for a kill for them to ever actually get that set up, though. As we see Fata thinking about denying his own ward, but he's actually just going to pressure Era, and there's that nuke. Still only that level 1, but...
We've got a haste rune that just got picked up on the Void Spirit as well. Surprised that he didn't opt to try to make something happen, but perhaps just too worried, wants to stay over here in the mid lane and get that farm going on. Skeeter taking a little bit of damage, but again, it's just a lot of pokes and prods right now in this early bit of the game.
Yeah. Charlie's done a great job. So 11 denies. He's doing great versus 9 right now, getting all these. And he's actually been resummoning his wolves constantly. Like right when the wolf is about to die, he gets a nice resummon versus 9. But 9 now with this haste.
Yeah, he's trying to do some body block. I don't think he has quite enough damage though, and he's sitting a little low himself. Does have another bottle charge.
Does have his nukes coming up in 5. Might go for Charlie.
Yep, it's definitely going in for Charlie here, but does he have enough? Oh, he needs maybe one more hit. He's going to go for the dive. One more hit, sorry. Teleport coming out. This is not looking great because you have a rotation here from Era. Charlie trying to juke around in the trees. He's hunting. He's not going to be able to find him, though. The Mango gets to use nice fissure from Era. Will actually protect Charlie as he throws out another 8th of Remnant. Charlie, though, he's off to the side. They need a little bit more damage, and he's just chasing him down, trying to get the final hit off. The Illuminate comes out now from Zibe. He's made his own rotation, trying to protect him, and it looks like these supports have done their job. They played the bodyguard. They protected President Charlie here in this mid lane.
Did force the 2 rotations though. He did make them move the whole way over. Now they're gonna have to adjust and make their move back. So nice aggressive play by 9. And let's see if they can capitalize on it at all, because both supports left. Are they actually gonna look to make any move? Top is still very hard, and I mean even killing Supreme is still a little bit tough. So not gonna be the case. And the supports will stick around mid to guarantee that they can block that rune as 9.
It's a decent chunk of damage from the Illuminate.
And they have the catapult. They've taken out the Dire side catapult, so they're actually going to have to rotate the Clockwork mid to help 9 from the siege. Tower's taking a lot of damage.
We'll force them back a bit, but like you said, forcing rotations out as well, so leaving that bottom lane pretty open 1v1. I'm sure the Ember Spirit does not feel too bad about that.
33 just hit 6 though. He's going to start threatening now onto Supreme. Not going to give him any lane as the catapult. What the heck? Okay, the bottom catapult just passed the whole creep wave to just die to the tower. That was... I've seen that lately, but...
That's a catapult that has seen too much of the former year and decided that 2021 wasn't going to make it any better.
I mean, that actually hurts quite a bit. Like 33's level 6, so that's his time where he can threaten the tower with this catapult, and for some reason it just charges the tower and dies. Okay, well, that'll give a nice bit of space here for High Coast to make moves around, send the Ember toward mid, as, yeah, this bottom push is now kind of negated because of that.
I wonder why that is. Is it just like an aggro thing, or...?
It's a weird aggro thing where if like a hero gets hit by something, the catapult takes priority. I've seen it a bunch of times happen in mid. I haven't seen it happen so much in like the side lanes, but I mean these type of small things they do hurt a bit. But we do see Tundra still up to 2k lead. These 3 lanes are going really well for them. They have shut down the Ember significantly bottom.
Ivor just going and placing down one of those sentry wards, keeping tabs on the Lycan, making sure that he's not comfortable and that they know exactly what his progression is. I do like Zibby though. He's down in the bottom lane. He's going to be able to keep them off the tower for the most part unless they go for a bit of a dive. But one of the benefits, as BSJ said earlier, is that you definitely want to have these supports that can shove out creep waves.
They're hunting for him. They know that he's going to be down here. Vivor's on the prowl. Zibby.
Indeed. Ivor can't seem to find him just yet. Ping.
He knows. Vivor he sees the tree cut.
Ooh. Yeah, battery assault comes out. Zibby's having to run for his life now. Top lane, they managed to take down Era using the Omni Slash, but bottom lane, Zibby just running for his life here. And it looks like they'll be kind and generous and decide that he's not worth it. But do have more going on over here at the rune spot as Fata forced to use the Purifying Flames, trying to stay alive just a little bit longer. It looks like they don't have enough damage. 9 coming forward, gets the kill on the courier. Supreme being held in place, but top lane, they will end up losing the tower there. A lot of moves going on around the map, all simultaneously around this 8.5 minute mark.
Yeah, nice deny though from 33, and he also kills at least one of the book 1 summons, so more gold for them, as we see. Yeah, 2k gold lead and continuing to grow. See what Chessie makes happen, as he does have coil available. He's got to maybe bail out Zibbe, as they're going to go on Vivor.
Yeah, you have to hold him in place. The Dream Coil, throw out the Illuminate. Get off a couple of these little clicks. You have to be a bit careful. Era making his own rotation here. Should be able to help get this kill. Totem comes out. Chessie on the hunt. Over on the side, though, Supreme has managed to find the Jug. Silence comes out, and eventually the puck will pop. But Skeeter's going to be able to run away.
They chased for a long time. Gives some time for Tundra to set up, get some decent damage on mid, and also look at 33. He's dragged the top wave. He's bringing it to the mid to pressure that, as well as push top with this. A nice move by the Timber.
It looks like we're going to have a skirmish in the middle lane. Supreme sitting very low. The Purifying Flames coming out, and they'll take out Supreme.
Pretty big slip up by him there, too. He's just very far forward versus the Oracle.
Yeah, a little
versus
surprised
that
about
Void Spirit, not expecting to get taken out. Just more damage than I think he expected coming. As that tower pressure.
Yeah, huge rotation for the mid lane right now. Not sure what they can really hope to do. They can, you know, spam out a couple of these Illuminates, but 9 and 33 don't seem like they're eager to leave at any moment. The teleports are coming out, though, as well. 33's courier does get murdered during all of this as Supreme's back in the mid lane. Roots into place. Should just be able to Timber Chain himself out. He's got the Chakram. And the jump in here from the puck. It's going to be another Remnant going forward. 33 is taking too much magic damage, though. He is going to go down here, as now it looks like the Void Spirit. He had the Aether Remnant up, but he will fall to Charlie. And just like that, that mid push is over with a big rotation.
That was huge. Yeah, killing the Hood. If he had Hood, potentially he's able to tank a lot more, maybe get even a return kill, but they kill the Hood, they get a nice double kill on the cores, and now they can continue to look to pressure and maybe even take out Fada up top. He's saving the chains. Yeah, they should be able to get this.
Just waiting to make sure he can't purge them off easily. Still gonna be able to do it. He has his own ultimate as well, but I think he's gonna end up taking just too much damage with that Slight coming out, and Supreme just chasing him down, giving a couple more clicks and whatnot.
He's healthy.
No, he's actually gonna be fine.
He's looking to turn. He's got double nukes. They've got the Void Spirit rotation.
Dodge. Hookshot comes in over onto the mid lane, though. This Coddle not looking as lucky. Zibi trying. Does manage to get the Blinding Light up, but the Chakram is too much. Top lane now. They turned right back around over onto Supreme now that they have the Void Spirit joining in, but aren't going to be able to go and collect that kill. Not yet. And mid tower being pressured. Looks like it's going to go down here.
It's the fact that they're the ones taking the towers says a lot. When they're playing versus this like in this early game draft, and they're the ones already starting to do this with 33, it's definitely a bit of a problem here that we're seeing for High Coast.
I mean, this is exactly what they were talking about during the draft, right? The fact that 33, you know, he has a very comfortable lane. He starts to pop off. He starts making all the space. Granted, you know, they did manage to take down his sort of Defiance, but he still hasn't had too much difficulty even not having those components right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come out, and he has another 1,300 gold to loot on top of it. So look how aggressive he's playing. He understands how strong he really is right now. And there, the Hood's going to come, and we'll see what the secondary choice of item is. It'd be a Lotus or a Yule's. Probably one of those two.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of the Lotus. I think that seems very good. Let's see.
It's always good versus Ember Spirit for your team to be able to protect them from the chains.
Got a couple.
He's queued up the Yules.
Spells too.
I think he might still switch because Yules you can get countered versus the Lycan book, but I think either way it's still a valuable item. It's going to make him pretty much invulnerable. The other one is more of a selfless item. It helps your team out a little more. Another tower going for the way of Tundra. Almost all 3 tier 1s.
Now, I thought the whole point of this High Coast draft that we're looking at was supposed to be, you know, get a lot of momentum going and start running them over, and it feels like that has not happened really at all. What do they need to do now, Fogged? Because it feels like, you know, with all these losses to the towers, the fact that this Timber Saw is getting bigger and bigger, it feels a little scary for them.
I want Charlie to just finish the book 3, and then they can look to just kick up the pace and look for these constant fights, because they have great team fight with their draft, but they're getting picked off a little bit here when they are split up.
Oh, the hook shot from Biver will be able to go and collect over onto Zippy, and they just realized that Supreme's over here too. I don't think they have any more catch, though, so he's going to be able to walk away.
Yeah, I think they have to wait for these next 2 big items. Like Chesty's Blink Dagger is about to be done. The book 3 is about to be done on Charlie, and I think then they can really look to start gunning down and looking for these fights. Because like we said, you know, Coil, they have Earthshaker ult as well. They have a lot of different things to throw in. While the Dire side, they don't really have that straight team fight. They just have these heroes that can push lanes and get this good farm and be pretty unkillable with the Jug Timber.
Right. Everyone's just hanging back for now, like you said. They're probably just waiting for those next items to be coming up. Blink Dagger getting picked up, though. Pretty big deal. Orc gets completed now for Void Spirit. And, of course, the Necro Book. Another level completed for the Lycan.
It's a very, very nice timing for this Orchid. This can trip things up a lot, so both teams are going to look to actually smoke up and look for the engagement. And yeah, Chessie, he may have the Blink. He just has to watch to make sure that he gets the initiation from kind of the tree line or from the fog or from a smoke or something like that, so he doesn't get instantly orchided.
He is pretty much one of the main sources of initiation here for the side of High Coast. I keep looking at Chicken Fighters, keeps throwing me off.
I know, we have both names, right? We have Tundra and, well, Mud Golems and Chicken Fighters, but not really.
Not really. Supreme on the bottom lane, though, is taking a little bit of harass here. It's going to get nuked, held into place.
Here comes the move, Charlie.
Here comes the rest of the team, though. Fnatic just getting nibbled at here by all of these summons. He's going to be forced to use his own ultimate to run away. TP out. Dreamcoil's going to get used down over here on the side. Going the easy Echo Slam over here. It doesn't really do that much, though, against this Timber Saw. He's too powerful. His silenced up, though. Turn back around. They've got a lot of damage over here onto this puck. For on the backside, Biver and Era kind of duking it out. Era's not looking too healthy, though. He's going to be taken down. As the rest of the side of High Coast seems to just want to walk away now.
That shows a big problem right now, where they show up with all their big timings. They only get the Oracle, because Jesse has to actually coil him to make sure he does die, but now, 9.
He's got the Orchid. He's going to try to run those remnants, though, coming out from Supreme. 9, though, just going to be able to go right down into low ground. Doesn't matter. They have that vision, so 9 will die to a slight.
Okay, there we go. They do get the secondary kill, so decent, but we're definitely seeing a bit of problems where when 33 shows up, he actually went for Vanguard, and now he's going to go for Eternal Shroud. He's switching the build up a little bit. Vanguard, very valuable versus all those summons. Just holds his ground, and they can't actually push a tower. Now, they didn't even touch that tower bottom, just getting a couple kills.
Yeah, that's definitely worrisome, the fact that, you know, they thought that they would have a better engagement than what they had, but didn't get as much as they would have liked, and they definitely didn't end up getting objectives, which not great the way that they need to be playing this for sure. Look at 33. He just does not care. He's just sitting in the middle of all these creeps, racking up that reactive armor. No cares in the world with this boy right now.
He's got Eternal Shroud too, so it's like he can just convert all the damage he takes into mana too. This is a very unkillable Timber. He did die the once though, so someone. I mean, wait, who said on the panel he wouldn't die?
That was Owen. He said 0 to 1 times though, so he's still technically within his predictions.
Yeah,
I'm just glad that nobody made any like crazy outlandish predictions like Kyle did the other day.
No. I think Kyle's done with betting on any lower division or any tiered anything pretty much. Maybe.
I don't know. You say that, but
maybe.
We say that Kyle has learned his lesson a couple times, but it doesn't always work out. You can see the discrepancy though here. 9 is just running away with this net where Supreme has been having a difficult time. And it just feels like it's only 16 minutes in, but it definitely feels like the Tundra mud golems are, firmly in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, I think they can play this very just relaxed, kind of just sit back and force the hands of High Coast, where it feels like High Coast they have to use their ultimates as best as possible to continue trying to pressure the map. But wherever 33 sees that pressure coming, he's just gonna park himself in front of it. Like he's not gonna die unless he's literally even if he's completely alone. It's looking pretty tough to even bring him down.
Now, see, if you were a capitalist, you would have just cursed him completely to the point where, he would definitely die multiple times and maybe even, lose disconnect. He'd have a disconnect issue or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that might happen. I think that's the only way he might just die.
Could be. Man, Chesty, I like the green screen setup on him. I like the fact that he looks like he's playing outdoors. The nice warm sunshine that doesn't exist in Sweden right now.
That is pretty cute, actually. I like it.
Not as cute as cat cams, though. More cat cams, please, Fogged.
I don't know where he is, actually. My kitty, I don't know where he went.
Just wandered off.
He's been sleeping all morning. He was bugging me last game, trying to make me play with him. All right, we're getting ready.
Ready to go. So let's see.
See how they weather the storm of 33.
That's a big storm, and it's only getting bigger. All right. Right now, looking at the net worth, 8.7k currently for Skeeter here. 8.5 on the Timber and 7.1 on Void Spirit. Puck is the next highest coming out from the side of High Coast, which is unfortunate because it doesn't feel like he's able to do a whole heck of a lot. And as we say that, he immediately gets silenced up, dragged up into cogs, and he's just dead. Nothing that can be done about that. Charlie joining into the fight here, but they just teleport out.
Yeah, 9 just jumps into the tree line, and he'll be able to cut his way out with his Quelling Blade. They do lose that Obs Ward that was scouting out Chessie, a very nice one.
God, look at 33. Look at this guy.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Just pokes right back at Supreme, says, oh, that's really cute.
I mean, he just actually walks up to Supreme, and he's like, oh, you have Flame Guard on? Thank you so much. Pops his Eternal Shroud, gets all his mana back, and then walks away. I love that item.
It does feel really strong, especially on Bristleback. I've been seeing that a lot recently.
Yeah. And he's gonna commit for the Crimson Guard. So versus all these minions to protect his team, you can only dispel 1 or 2 off with the Necro Book. So yeah, the block is gonna be very significant.
Pre-order now to enjoy exclusive gifts worth $356.
We do see the Blink finished up on Era. So more team fight, as we said, on the side of High Coast. But I mean, Skeeter's just chilling. He's getting the synergy. It's all building in that trio. He's got the Maelstrom, he's got the Ags, and now he's going for the Shard. So you always have that spin to win power.
Yeah, I mean, he's got all the space in the world. They haven't been able to pressure him at all. And that's a huge concern because he's just running away with the net worth. Now look at Charlie, 7.6k versus 9.4 over here on this jug. They do manage to take down Fada, but this just opens the door here for them to go and take Roche. They don't have to worry about the Earthshaker now. They don't have that pressure there just yet, although they are rotating. They do know that they're in there, so they do have to be a bit careful. And we do have the Echo Slam still available. He's all smoked up. So they'll force him out of the pit, sitting fairly low. Again, 33, very, very tanky. Doesn't seem to mind to be, held into place right now. Has the Eternal Shroud, but I think they need some sort of a pick-off. What do you think, Vogt?
It's too scary. 33 just is reading all of it. He's just walking around. They can't make the moves. I think this is the third smoke I've seen from High Coast. And Era's going to be the one.
Era's the big target if they can grab him, but he blinks out. Hook shot in from Viver. Doesn't find anything here. Perhaps a little over-eager. It's going to be the fissure. Fata throwing his ultimate on himself, trying to protect. We'll push back over here onto Chessie, and they are held into place. They need to get in. Oh, there it is, the jump over onto the back. They're just Delta splitting, though. They do manage to take down Viver, so they find something here. 33, though, coming from behind. Chessie jumping forward. Looks like he's going to be able to get enough damage off over onto 9. So 9 next to False Eater here. He does have the Omni Slash, trying to get some of those nice balances. It's going to be unsuccessful here as 33 just poking. Chessie also, though, trying to find an opening. 33 looking at Supreme.
They're just dancing on them. Chessie as well as Supreme. The lack of stuns. 33 will be left behind in front of all 5 heroes, but they don't want to challenge him. A great charge forward by High Coast, using these ultimates pretty much perfectly. And just the surround. I think Cap was the one who in the panel who did talk about the Lycan book just completely surrounding that Oracle, making it really hard for him to fight.
Well, that's like the second time, I think, that we've seen the False Promise placed on himself. Right, once in the top lane and then again after that fight. Because they are targeting. They do realize that that is the boy that they need to take down. He's the one with all the saves, all of the capability of keeping people alive.
Chessie. He'll get caught this time.
You can see the little whip coming out on Viver. He's like, I gotta get out of here. Heals completed for 9, though. And as the production was showing us earlier, they are looking at getting themselves a flamethrower soon for the Timber Saw.
Oh, okay, cool. I've seen this one a couple times now.
How do you feel about it?
I think... I don't know. I mean, it just... it's okay. The slow is nice. It gives you more catch, which they're lacking, so sure.
Is there something that you'd rather him pick up instead of the flamethrower, or...?
No, I mean, it's fine. It's perfectly fine item here. There's not really much space he has anyway for it, unless he wants to build another huge item, which will take some time. They will be able to find Supreme down bottom.
Zibby running for his life down here. Did have that force stab, but 33 is relentless, and he's going to be able to go and kill the Coddle. Very strange. I feel like we haven't seen like a full dedicated team fight yet. It's been a lot of pickoffs, a lot of skirmishes, a lot of 33 just, in the middle of everything, not caring.
Yeah, it's tough for them to get like everything just in synergy together, because like you said, they Delta split, especially when the last fight was off. Like Era, he still has his Echo Slam available because he couldn't see an opportunity to get it.
I wondered if...
But he will have it now for this next further one. 9.
Well, they're making their moves on Charlie, and they've caged up this wolf right here, yo-yoing right through, and down goes the Lycan. Does manage to get taken down, though. They managed to go take out Viver. But I think... Yeah, look at that Necronomicon damage. Oof.
Poor Viver. 33, if he kills it, he's just fine, but, of course, it's just the Clockwork who's, like, battery assaulters rocket ended up blast hitting it. Unfortunate for him.
I feel like this is like kind of the only plan that they can do currently, because you're not going to be able to do enough damage to 33, obviously. The other guys are very elusive, the Juggernaut and the Void Spirit, so you kind of have to go after these supports every time, but it doesn't feel super great, does it?
No, but it feels like that. It feels a little bit like that for both sides, especially when Charlie does have his ult up. Like the catching on both sides is just a bit lackluster because of what heroes they're playing against. So like Ember Puck, very elusive. Charlie's mostly only been fighting with his shapeshift, so he's just too speedy and elusive as well.
Well, not Same if they get that hook shot off and they cage him up. Flamethrower is online though now for Timbersaw, so I'm interested to see how that's going to work. Is this the first time we've seen this in a professional match?
No, we saw it the other day when we had a Timber as well. They went for it later on. Looks like they're setting up the 5-man gank for 33.
There's that flamethrower. They'll go and hold the Timber into place. They've got a lot of damage, but he seems to be healing pretty well. It's going to take a lot to take down this Timbersaw, and eventually they take down 33, but boy, did they need a lot to do it, as the rest of the side now over here on Tundra, they're going to back off. They've got a smoke. They decide to step a little bit too far. They are definitely ready for them. despite the fact they don't have their Timber.
Fada had his... He was actually close to getting the save off. He has a Blink Dagger on the Oracle. So a couple... Like, even one more second, he gets the Blink and the False Promise, and they can maybe look to re-engage the fight. But good grab. That's the Puck ult as well as the Shapeshift, though. So let's see if they look to fight back when they do have the respawn, at least from the Timber stall shortly. And there's still smoke, so they still can look to catch any heroes that do step up on the front line. 9 with this Orchid. And now with his Euls, he can play a lot riskier in a way. He can actually commit further since he has a counterplay to just getting rooted or leashed up by the Puck/Ember.
It feels like a lot of the times, though, he's actually using it very aggressively in a lot of these engagements rather than trying to be very defensive. Maybe just, you know, the fact that he has Fata nearby allows him to be a bit more aggressive, or...
I think he has to save it for the silences and the coils from now on.
Okay. Eternal Shroud also being considered now for the Jug.
Oh.
That sounds very surprised for me, Fucked. I'm very surprised by
I just
it.
noticed
I don't
he had
really
a
think
hood,
of that.
too. I mean, I didn't even notice he got the hood right before, but... I mean, it is 4 pretty much entirely magic damage heroes in a way. I mean, Ember is a little bit of mixed, but... okay.
Seeing a lot of really different builds. I'm liking it, right? Because we saw the other day with mid 1, he went for those Boots of Travel and the Midas, which everyone was kind of surprised about. But this one in particular, like you said, it's a lot of magic damage on the board, so...
Yeah, I mean, if once he gets the Eternal Shroud too, he'll have mana, so he doesn't get mana burn and stuff. I mean, this is... sure.
Ooh, hook shot. Gonna be able to go and just drag back over into this Ember. Supreme is just absolutely toast here.
And he commits for it. He buys the Eternal Shroud, so okay. So I mean, it also... It gives him the magic lifesteal too, right? So when he's spinning to win with his Maelstrom, and now that he's got the Shard and he's gonna get the 160 Blade Fury DPS, okay, nice. I mean, he's going to be lifestealing a lot in the midst of everything.
I think.
And he already has the damage, so, I mean, I'm okay with this.
I'm a little nervous right now because there is the Echo Slam up. But they're going to get engaged. The puck gets dragged in over onto the corner here. Another Illuminate getting spammed out. Charlie looking for this opening. Does a nice Dream Coil over on the other side. 9 here, going to turn back around, drags back over onto Charlie, gets off a nice couple of these hits. Is it going to be enough to take out Charlie? Yes, it is. Down goes the Lycan as the rest of the support's now forced to run away. Heard a hook shot. I'm not sure if they accidentally ran into each other here. Chessie needs to be careful. It's going forward. Does have the blink. They bring Supreme back into the fight. I'm not sure he wants to be here, though. Swift Slash coming out. Got a decent chunk of damage here. He's going to try to slide around back on the other side. Just trying to hold this puck into place. Chessie very, very hard to get his hands on, but they do have the Euls, they have the 8th Remnant, and eventually they do manage to slay him. As 9 now over on this other side. He's going to be chasing after Supreme, who's already popped that BKB, managing to root 9 into place. They need a couple more hits for damage here, and they're not going to be able to quite do it as they manage to take down 33 Supreme, running for his life. Now, he needs to be careful. He took a lot of damage there, almost went down himself, as now Zibby is being chased after as well. They've used the rocket, they have the vision. They're hunting. Hook shot just a little bit off the mark, though. Bit of a shot in the dark, but that should secure them this Roche.
Era almost got a 5-man dunk. 9 actually gets the Astro Step and gets the Orchid on him as he's about to... It was going to be all 5 heroes stacked up almost perfectly inside that little window. A great jump from the Void Spirit. And the High Coast, this fight kicked off really weirdly. The way they had to just kind of chase into this high ground and just use their ultimates not together in synergy. Era, again, not being able to find an opportunity for Echo Slam until the very ends of the fight, just because of how it all got split up.
That is something that Tundra does very well, is being able to just split up these fights, especially when you have heroes that are ducking around so much, like a Clockwork, like the Void Spirit. Very difficult to pin them into place unless you get that perfect Dream Coil, and you have to be just right on the money right away.
It's also the Flamethrower did decent work in that last fight. The debuff lingering is actually pretty cool. It lasts for 3 seconds afterwards. You stay burning. So it makes this chase just so much easier for him to stick on targets, and it makes him do, of course, a lot more damage.
Well, 8K net worth lead at 27 minutes in. I'm sure they're looking at all these neutral items that they could grab for the time being. So they get a nice bonus pick off on Zibby and his courier. You and your little dog too, so to speak.
game is getting pretty out of hand. This is, for the last like 10 minutes or so, it's not the place that High Coast wants to be in the game. They want to be the ones at the driver's seat. They want to be the ones actually committing, getting that rush, getting these towers, but they just can't. And now, you know, this Lycan, in a way, he's almost fully countered by this Juggernaut. He just walks in, he gets Omni slashed every single time, and the rest of his heroes are too frail to be able to share it with him by any means. They're gonna look to go again, Chessie.
Forward on the back lines, they manage to go and find Fata. He is held into place. He'll use his ultimate on himself, though, try to keep himself alive a little bit longer so he can be a part of the fight. Chessie, though, on the back lines. This is not looking good for them. As Supreme pops the BKB, they get a couple nice slashes here, but not quite enough as Viper does go down. They take down Chessie, and they manage to go and get the Echo Slam, but there's just so much damage coming out. They burn down the Aegis. 33, he's finally sitting low enough. Are they going to be able to finally get this kill? No, he's still alive and kicking as Charlie next to fall. Supreme trying to run away. Skeeter just spinning to win over here. He was hoping that maybe he could get a denial. It's not going to be enough, though. Those neutral creeps are not going to help him. Look at Zippy. He's just trying to go and deny the tower because there's really nothing else that he can do. Sponsor throws out the tip. He needs to be careful because 9, I'm sure, would love for him to get just a little bit too close to that edge and let them clean him up.
So close to them killing 33. They get the Aegis with some nice spells all landing together, but this is the deficit that's really kicking off here. Just how much more gold and just how much tankier they all are in Skeeter. Just a beast. Actually, this build actually is working pretty well. The Eternal Shroud there, we did see it coming into favor, and it all synergizes really well with his build.
It's definitely interesting to watch during this patch, all the different items and how they can be applied, because that's not something I considered at all with that Eternal Shroud for Jug. Coming to a pub near you soon, guys.
In this game in particular too, it's all about like if he dies during that initial jump. This just helps him so much with the Oracle behind too. So that's all working out for them. Some big items being delivered. Kaya Sange for the Timber, and I believe a Sanjanyasha for Skeeter.
Everybody's getting swords. It's a cool thing to do. Do need to be careful, though. They are grouped up nearby, and they find 33. That's not the person that they want. It's just too difficult to take down. As they make their own movements coming out from the side of Tundra here. Wolf's doing a bit of scouting, though. Are keen to what's going on.
Fights are just getting harder, though. 9 has a full Aghanims now, too, on top.
Oh, I hear Dream Coil. And the save coming out again from Fata. We'll keep him alive a little bit longer here. Throws out the Aether Remnant, drives back over here onto Charlie. Musk is going on. Zippy's getting chased over by 33. This is looking like a dead Fata. Granted, he already got most of his spells off. He did his job here. And now Skeeter looking for this opening, trying to man fight here with Charlie and the rest of his circus. Aether Remnant drawing Charlie back. As 33 is just doing his own thing over here on the side. Whole other fight going down. Charlie, though, being chased after by 9. He will eventually pop. That is the end of this Lycan. However, looking for this opening. 33 not going to be able to go get the kill on the Coddle. To shut down plenty of those trees. 9, he wants it so bad. Look at this. He's trying to race over there. Has the steps, goes forward with the Orchid, and just like that, down goes Supreme.
Yeah, these fights just last way too long now for the side of High Coast. Whenever these fights do kick off too long, the shapeshift ended, and they weren't able to get and chase any of these big kills. They only were able to find Fata of it. They need to pretty much insta-kill these heroes. That's why I feel like this Eternal Shroud has value on the Jug, and yeah, we're just seeing Tundra really take over completely here. As 9, he'll be able to scurry away from Chessie.
Chessie, he's thinking about it, though. Look at him. He's got the blink ready. Hoping he gets lucky with this orb here.
He's got Coil on too, but yeah, he can't.
No. Just chasing for too long at this point. Candy kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Viper feels like he wants to try to make something happen here, but Puck is very difficult to hold into place when you're just a clockwork. All right, well. What is the moves now for the side of High Coast? You know, these fights getting just more and more difficult. They even fort up on the creep too. Oh, Chessie, they want this kill. Viper looking for this opening. Yules is going to come out. 33 is here, though, to go and help get the kill. Supreme now a little bit too far forward. Granted, they don't have any real ways. Oh, never mind. They have the Aether Remnant. They're going to be able to draw the Ember right back in again. They were looking for him, though. Need to get just a little bit more damage. He's going to have to bottle. Look at 33. He wants this kill, but the BKB comes out. He's gone maybe just a little bit too far here. Supreme going forward yet again. Erod gets immediately just blown up. Puck spying back. Chessie wanting to be a part of this. They want to punish this. They've gone pretty far. And again, they have a nice coil. They managed to go and snap it as well. But what can Charlie do? He's trying to go back in, but he can't do anything because there's just way too much damage, too much lockdown. Down goes Charlie. No buyback. They just called it GG. They've had enough.
Yeah, this one's looking very over. just the whole time, it's Tundra dictating the entire pace of the game. And for most people, when you're playing with Lycan, pretty much every single time, you want to be the ones leading this game. It started to fall apart too quickly. And this Timbersaw pick, I feel like it was this massive thorn in their side. 33 just shows up and just pushes and forces all these lanes in and just always puts Tundra in a good opportunity to find these fights. And yeah, I feel like it's too hard for High Coast. They have to pretty much use their ults at every frequency when they're up in order to look for these successful fights. And the Jug, the Void Spirit, they can just sit back, just play kind of casual and farm while 33 makes all this space.
I mean, it was a little bit of a gamble, though, right? You know, the fact they picked that Timbersaw last pick. Our panel also seemed a little concerned because if it didn't end up working, they were just going to get run over completely, right? Because they wanted something with more catch originally.
Yeah, but it's like this Timber versus the Lycan. You know, they made these lanes get all wacky and all that. They set themselves up in this really good spot. And if Charlie's able to, or sorry, the Jug in particular, he's able to just get this he's able to just fully free farm. He's able to just literally play his own game, 6-0-9 on the Jug, no pressure whatsoever. Sure, Fada false promised himself every single time, but he didn't need to false promise anyone else, really.
Yeah, it was enough to just be that threat. I'm interested. Do you know what the final death count is on that Timbersaw? Is OD Pixel, did he win this?
He got 2.
Oh, Owen being wrong. Nah, two deaths still very good from 33. That Timbersaw definitely the nail in the coffin for High Coast. We're going to break down the first game of the series after this. We were thinking high-paced aggression, timings with high peak performances of the Lycan, Charlie's best hero, and it didn't happen. It just did not happen. From the get-go, it seemed like Tundra was winning all the lanes, and then they were the ones dictating where this game went, and then by the time Hykos was able to say anything at all, it was too little too late, and they were able to kill off 33's Timbersaw twice, which is still once more than OD Pixel had predicted, but it wasn't enough, Owen. It was not enough.
No, it was just a hard game throughout, really, for High Coast. They just never really got ahead, or even close to ahead, even at the start.
Yeah.
It just got to this point where, you know, suddenly 33 is that much of an effort to kill. I mean, not only 33, also Fada. This Oracle was very frustrating. They were having to use a lot to get rid of him. By the time they're throwing everything on him, of course, Skeeter and Nine were normally available to clean up. And as the game went on, he's playing as a Jug versus a Lycan. He's got a Maelstrom and an Axe. He's going to be farming much quicker than this Lycan's able to do so, and the game just falls to a pretty impossible state for High Coast.
Yeah, hell, they started off 1,000 gold behind. 4 bounty runes at first blood. Oof. I was pretty hopeful that if High Coast was going to win any game, it was going to be something with Charlie Lycan, a push lineup that works well for them. I thought that, between Ember Spirit and Coddle, maybe they'd be able to slow down Timbersaw pushes, because he doesn't hit towers himself, right? He just clears out the area for creeps to be able to do so. But I think Viper did a really good job catching Zibe whenever he tried to stop those pushes with the Coddle. And Charlie did all right in the mid lane, but he also gave a lot of wolves. We had Knight getting very farmed as a result. 33 had a good lane.
Yeah.
Juggernaut was hard to pressure. I also think Juggernaut, I kind of forgot about this, but Juggernaut's better against Lycan than he used to be because the new Axe. You go Maelstrom Axe, and you actually have way better wave clear to be able to deal with Lycan than you used to, right? Because you can use both Swift Slash as well as Omni Slash. So you're not just like, damn it, my Omni Slash is being soaked up by 1 billion units, because you've got a backup.
Yeah, and on top of the beautiful plus 160 Blade Fury DPS talent.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
You can never really sort of put the summons on him. And even though I wasn't sold initially by the Eternal Shroud build, I did sort of come around and I was like, you know what, Cap sort of sold me on it. You know, with the spell lifesteal and the Blade Fury, especially when you have that DPS talent, you're just healing up way more than anything can sort of really hit you whilst you're spinning to win.
Plus, you get more mana, which was kind of a problem when he's dealing with Necronomicon 3, and you're using that Aghanim Scepter so much early. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting. I'm not like...
You're not rushing to do it in your pubs?
Yeah, I feel like that was okay because they were ahead, and I don't see how... Pretty much at like 20 minutes, there was this one fight where they took into Tundra in their jungle. They had to win that fight super dominantly and take Roshan off of it. They only got 3 kills, didn't kill any of the important cores, didn't take Roshan. That was pretty much the end of the game for me.
Yeah, I kind of fell a little flat there from High Coast. Let's find out what Purge thought of this match.
With the beautiful hindsight of being able to watch the game, I think the Timbersaw was definitely the core, the key pick here, as Fogg said as well. So something to remember is last time we saw the Coddle plus Ember dual lane is basically what it allows you is that not only do you get the advantage of Coddle being able to blast the offlaner, and they did a really good job against this for 3-3 the first couple levels, but he didn't die. And then what happens usually is that the carry gets to spam way more spells to be able to offset and harass down the offlane here. But Timbersaw has natural armor and magic resistance built in. Sleight of Fist, harass, doesn't really mean much to him because his armor is always at such a high point and he's always got so much regen. So what he does on 3-3, he buys a fast Orb of Venom and then boots afterwards, and this allows him basically to hit Supreme multiple times every time that he walks forward. He's constantly taking creep waves because he just literally doesn't care. And with the power of the clockwork, they have kill potential on Ember until he hits 6. So every time the Supreme wants to go for last hits, he has to walk all the way up, and if he does go for a last hit, 3-3 is going to hit him like 3, 4, 5 times, maybe use a Whirling Death, that kind of thing. So he basically just has a really free safe lane from the this advantage, which ends up working out really nicely for him. Another really cool thing, he picks up Chip Vest here for one of the neutral items. 28 damage against heroes, 17 against creeps is going to help him accelerate his farm. And then now that he's got this really nice net worth advantage, because let's just take a look at it really quick, 66 last hits over the 34 of Ember Spirit, he can basically just go to lanes that are really dangerous. He defends the tier 1 tower top, he gets to deny in this, he cleans up the necro creeps, and then he ends up pushing out the off lane pretty safely, pulls the creep wipe towards the mid lane, and now Timber is offering another really magical thing against Caudle. And this is why I'm starting to think Timber's just the Caudle counter in here. It doesn't matter if Caudle kills your creep waves, because you don't care if a tower is hitting you, because you've got 35 armor at the point of the game. Look at this, just tanking entire creep waves. Again, Chip Vest is clearing the creep wave slightly, but like normally Caudle can slow all this down, but he can't this game. He didn't get his Ember ahead. He isn't able to defend these tower pushes, and Ember playing on a side lane, Puck playing on a side lane, their nukes are just not strong enough to pick off Timbersaw at this phase of the game. So just really smart drafting from the Timber. It laned really well, and they did a great job here in this match.
They really, really did. Yeah, 33 was a beast on that Timber, and that last pick was very solid. Now, before the series started, Cap, I asked you which player you were going to keep an eye on, and you said, you know, you're curious to see how Chessie will perform in this series, and he got his Puck. So Puck is one of his best heroes, I believe. How did you feel he did, and how do you feel he was able to contribute to the strategy of the game?
I think he did all right. I wasn't like super focused on his laning phase, so I didn't pay too much attention to that. It felt like just a game that was hard to win at a certain point in time, because he was just going to lack damage from a 3-position Puck. You just don't quite have that strong scaling that a 2 Puck that is able to get solo experience and get kills and really start snowballing quite a bit. Your damage is a lot more limited in that regard. So yeah, it was nothing really showing there for me. On the other side of things, I think Nine did a great job on that Void Spirit, though. As the mid matchup, he did very well against Charlie, being able to kill. I think he killed several different wolves in lane. He got a lot of CS, and then he made some pretty good moves. I thought there was a couple of ganks that I was particularly impressed with by him.
Yeah, he did a solid job indeed. We're going to find out who's going to do the best job in the second game as well after this.
Let it go. Hope to heaven before you're old. Hold your hand out as it rains. Catch the moment before it fades. Take a deep breath. Fill your lungs. Ask the questions while you're young, young, young. And take the hard roads, and you'll be done. And you will get there before you know. I'll send the answer.
Pre-order now to enjoy exclusive gifts worth $356.
Battle between two teams with fresh organizations, two teams that are at the moment lacking any victory on the board at all. 0-2 for both of them, and the battle between these two teams could be a deciding factor in who goes out at the end of the season and who stays. We're joined by Purge on the big board. We have a Cap here, OD Pixel, and we are going to see what happens in the second game of this series. In the first one, Tundra took the series, I must say, quite convincingly there, with a solid last pick towards the end and then solid execution after that. And that was all after we said that we thought High Coast had a decent draft, had something that they, Cap, were comfortable on with the Lycan coming out for Charlie.
Yeah, but sadly, they just kind of got timber sods, and I think they got outplayed in multiple situations, and their lineup was very much a snowball lineup. It needed to kind of like win the game by 30 minutes, and they were behind for pretty much the entirety of the game. I think, actually, I'm not sure if they ever had a lead, because the fact that they started off 1,000 down, and then the laning phase didn't really go their way either, so...
It's hard to win with a lineup with Lycan if Lycan doesn't get a couple kills with his ulti. I feel like if Lycan gets successful kills, it's pretty solid, but all of his early rotations went on Fada, and he kept ultiing himself and staying alive, so I feel like that slows you down a huge amount, especially on top of what 3-3 was able to do with Timber, so it was a hard game for him.
Yeah, you're definitely supposed to be able to like pop ultimate, run at some cores, kill those cores, and then take that tower, and you're that's kind of like the rinse and repeat of the Necronomicon pushes for Lycan. You just do that like 3 times, you've taken all their outer towers and maybe a tier 2 before 20 minutes, and then you feel like super strong, like, okay, now I can build things like Assault Cuirass and like actually scale into the game. But no such luck here, and I'm just gonna kind of assume that Tundra is gonna take game 2 as well, but we'll see. Maybe Chicken Fighters can outdraft them.
I was in the pool, guys. This is where it gets picked.
Oh, it is.
It's time.
Is he tempted? Charlie, does he want to try it again?
3 times is the charm, as they say. Maybe.
5 seconds remaining.
I hope not. I didn't think it was the most exciting... I mean, it doesn't matter who plays it. It generally is not the most exciting gameplay to watch. And I think that High Coast thrives if they can set the tempo. And with IO, they might just take a little bit too long. Bounty Hunter, however, is a hero that you gotta set a high tempo with. Because otherwise, well, what are you picking Bounty Hunter for? You gotta get those kills.
It's like a better laning version of Nyx Assassin that becomes worse than Nyx Assassin later, I feel like. I mean, you give your team gold, scout things out, it can be kind of effective, but first phase pick, I don't know about that. Maybe it doesn't get better, but it's not like you surprise them with Bounty Hunter in second phase and they're like, oh no, a support Bounty Hunter.
What are we gonna do?
It doesn't scare me much.
Maybe they got something really solid to go with it, and they go for the Monkey King.
That's kind of good because it does. The one thing Bounty does do well is slow pretty effectively in the early game when you get invis with an Orb of Venom. So pairing that with like a core Monkey King could be really good because then you can get Jingus pretty effectively in the laning stage without spending too much mana. Normally you have to commit like a stun from a support, but Bounty it's like what 65 mana or something to get 2 big slows off. So.
Yeah, you like the lane matchup against Void Spirit as well, because Void Spirit's all about being able to trade efficiently with his E, the physical shield that he has. But Monkey King, once he gets to level 2 Jingu Mastery, it's so hard to trade with that hero. And then on top of that, he's got a near instant stun with Boundless Strike. Is that what it's called? Yeah. With Boundless Strike that you can catch Void Spirit when he's doing light split pushing things. I think you have to have really good team fight whenever you get Bounty Hunter as well. Otherwise, the enemy team just kind of like groups up in a ball and you don't win team fights, you're not finding pickoffs, so why do you have a Bounty Hunter?
Yep.
That's true.
Owen, you said before the series that you were going to pay some extra attention to the mid lane, and obviously last game that was a little tricky to do because we saw Charlie in the Lycan mid up against Nine's Void Spirit. You're probably hoping that he's going to be the one playing Void Spirit again because he did play it very nicely.
It'll be 9 again, yeah.
Would you be happy to see a Supreme Monkey King versus Void Spirit, or what would you see up against the Void Spirit for Supreme?
I always, whenever you're laning against a Void Spirit, I like someone that's sort of a range lane dominator. I mean, we saw earlier today Lina. Lina was a really solid hero in that matchup. Storm crushed it in the Lina versus Void Spirit lane. In the past, some of the sort of beefy flash farmers have done a great job. I mean, there's heroes that just going to out-farm the Void Spirit, really punish the mid lane as well when Void Spirit's moving to make ganks. So anyone that can sort of put pressure onto the tower seems to be really nice. So they've got a few options. Yeah, if the Monkey King ends up mid, I don't think it will. I don't think this Monkey King will be mid. But if it does go mid, I don't think the Monkey King's going to have a very good time.
I think this hero's much better in the safe lane right now. Just because
it's a pretty top tier character.
Incredibly well.
Yeah.
You get a Battlefield, you get an Aghanim Scepter, your farming's out of control. Pretty much your Ags gives you so many things.
You mean all the statues? So many statues.
So many statues.
So many things. They keep it open anyway. I mean, we have seen Supreme play Monkey King one of the games that they had against Team Liquid.
Yeah, that was that weird Charlie IO.
Yes.
And then he was playing Monkey King, and then they had the OD with Nyx Assassin. That was the other combo that they had. Mudgolem's Tundra, rather, is going to ban away that OD from them.
We're seeing Haiku's ban the AA, so maybe Morphling's on the cards.
Morphling Ryo.
Yeah. It's got to be one of those heroes, I would imagine. And but Morph probably does quite good against the Void Spirit mid. I think as long as you're able to, do the maths and make sure that you don't get caught out by the 1-2 of the burst, you're going to be able to out-CS him and punch him pretty hard, pressure him in the lane.
Both games that High Coast picked IO first, they started out banning Ancient Apparitions, so it looks like they are intending...
It's going to be one of the two.
The IO too, yeah.
When they were picking IO before, they were doing it as like the first pick, though, right?
They did, yes.
They were always just first picking it.
It will be the Grim first.
I mean, this making the Morph game look better now. If you go for E-Blade Morph with a Grimstroke in your lineup, it's going to be super strong.
It's pretty nice with Bounty Hunter too, just because you can double track, double strike, and toss. So makes it super, super straightforward for Bounties to do that combo. Kind of like it. And also, he's a great Inkswell target, obviously. Can start things off out of position for the enemy team.
So if you track, and they're both tracked, and you Shuriken Toss, they double Shuriken Toss, but then they also double bounce, so you get 4?
Yep.
Well,
2?
You get 2 Shurikens that bounce.
Because they don't split, it just bounces, right? But you're throwing 2.
Two Shurikens will hit every person that's tracked.
Yeah.
So, big 600 damage to every person there.
And a lot of money.
Yeah.
And potentially a lot of money. I want to give a quick shout out to Lycan here because it's one of the most picked and banned heroes of the European DPC. And I say picked and banned because it's mostly banned. It's only been picked 3 times and it has not won yet.
Oh, wow.
Rough times for the Wolf Boy.
Indeed, indeed. Well, let's see what's coming on the side of High Coast then, because they're taking their time. They have to fight up against Oracle, so there's a nice save coming out from Tundra Esports.
I still like the morph, but maybe the Oracle puts them off because indeed they are going to have that protection against whoever's getting gone upon. But I still think it fits their lineup pretty nicely.
You can only save one. If there's a nice link with the Grimstroke.
True.
Kinda.
Well, you got the
It's
edict,
mostly
right?
magic damage that comes in, right? So Fate's Edict becomes really value. So very often what I would do in this situation is I pop my ultimate on whoever's kind of the front line. And then whoever's a little bit closer to me at Fate's Edict, that other guy, and start healing him. I think with Chicken Fighters, I didn't want them to pick this safe lane carry right away because I wanted them to still threaten, like, maybe Charlie's going to play the Monkey King, even though it's Supreme. But no, they're just like, okay, we are going to be doing this. Monkey King mid, Ursa, Bloodseeker are like two of the safe lane cores that work.
You don't think
best
this is going to be
with
Chessie
Grimstroke.
Monkey King? Let's save him mid to last.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good idea. I didn't think about that.
Jesse has not
Jesse play
played
the Monkey King?
I mean, he has not
sure
played
he has.
one
I'm
hero
sure he
double since
sure
this
he
league started. He has played 6 different heroes. I wouldn't be surprised to see him at a 7th.
It's a really good pick, the Troll. If it is going to be offlane Monkey King with Bounty Hunter, that's blind axes against 2 guys that are all about hitting. So really solid pick there.
Yeah, I think I think if that was indeed going to be monkeying them out to rethink it.
No, I'm pretty certain they just picked the Monkey King for Supreme right away because, like, when they see this Void Spirit with the Nyx Assassin, I don't think you can really feel comfortable moving that Void Spirit outside of the mid anymore. Nine's done a really good job with his Void Spirit. I think it's this hero's preferred lane. So I'm going to go ahead and say they still need the Chessie hero, but, could be wrong.
I mean, it's because the Troll pick is also really smart because I think one of those heroes that would have been really nice maybe to play on the offlane against the Troll to counter it would have been put Chessie on the Pugna, but I think Pugna is of course kind of hard for chicken fights to pick because there's a Nyx Assassin who's going to kind of screw with you pretty big time, and of course there's an Oracle that's going to be saving whoever you go upon. So it really sort of opens the floor for this Troll to come into a game. And of course, with AA also being banned out by chicken fighters themselves, a lot of, arguably the 2 biggest Troll counters, they're just not in the draft. They're not available.
I think they also want a offlaner that's more self-sufficient because this Bounty Hunter, I'm not sure if you could really make sure that Monkey King offlane is going to have a good game, especially since you see the Trolls. So they need something that makes sure that people can't really leave.
Maybe just put Chessie on the Darkseer again then. Have a Darkseer bounty lane. Would you like that? Oh, I guess it's an Oracle. It's Oracle is kind of nasty. I really do think this draft from Tundra is just really well rounded because a lot of these things you're thinking about are just everything's sort of got a problem. I don't think there's a very obvious hero that High Coast can really end their draft with it.
Yeah, it seems like Tundra rate the Oracle a little bit higher than most other teams outside of maybe Insania with Liquid because they see a lot of value in the Purge. They were doing very well against the Ember Spirit last game. Here, there's Jingu, there's Track, there's Inkswell that you can purge off as well. It's super value Oracle game.
His Viper's pretty nasty. It makes sort of the prospects of both this Monkey King and Ursa, if this is really your mid and carry, very hard to do. And they are as well. Enigma for Chessie, probably.
Yep. What are you thinking, Purge?
I think the Enigma is pretty solid here because it gives them kind of overwhelming teamfight advantage. There aren't a huge amount of interruptions on the Mudgolem side. It would basically have to be like what Nyx, Spike Carapace or Stun, or 9 like Yulzing or Stunning. So once he gets like BKB Black Hole, he's going to be in a really good spot. Laning against Troll Warlord, he should be semi-okay. Just sit back and get protected. I like it.
All right, thank you very much. We'll come back to you at the end of the game. Captain Heroes on the board.
Not a fan. I don't know. I feel like this Bounty Hunter just forces a lot of picks, right? They wanted something that's pretty independent, so there's all the kind of like solo offlaners of Tidehunter, Brewmaster, those are banned away. Venomancer was banned by themselves. Yep. They're left with Enigma, which is one of the heroes I thought about because, it does very well. You don't really need a support in there. But I feel like Troll actually takes pretty good advantage of the space that is available from an Enigma lane. You can actually kill Eidolons. I don't know. I don't believe in Bounty Hunter. Every single time I've seen it, it just does not do well. Plus, I think Tundra's still the better team, so Tundra all the way, 2-0.
Yeah, I got to agree with Cap. I think this is an extremely one-sided draft. I do not like the lineup of High Coast at all. I think this Monkey King and Ursa are going to be useless. You're playing into a Viper that's going to be breaking both of them. You're playing into a Troll that's going to be making both of them miss their attacks. And you're playing into an Oracle that's going to save whoever you go on. I think this is going to be rougher than the first game. This is a straight-out draft from Tundra.
Oof. Rougher than the first game.
Yeah. No, that is High Coast battling against the odds then. Let's find out if they can prove our panel is wrong or if indeed this will be a quick 2-0. Let's head over to Moxie and Fogged.
Well, that's a little rough. What do you think there, Fogged? Even Owen doesn't believe in the side of High Coast Esports. What do you think? Can you give us any positive rays of light here?
I was asking JJ for this one too. Since he can probably hear me now, he might be able to help me out. I was trying to look up Bounty Hunter's win rate across all the regions. I think he's only won 1 game out of like 10 picks. This hero, I feel like this hero has been looking really bad, to be honest with you. I've been seeing people picking in pubs. It looks decent in pubs, but he's just losing every game in officials that I've seen at least.
Well, we might be able to make some moves over here on Supreme as the little donkey wanders his way over, gets rooted into place, and that's going to start it off pretty nice. Viper, of course, getting that first blood. I think 9 would have liked that a little bit more, but kill secured, right?
Yep, get themselves off to a very good start, and we'll see what they're going to be able to make happen with this Bounty Hunter and with this Ursa, because they do have this kind of snowball potential between them, but I just think they've gotten very, very fully kind of counter-picked and counter-drafted here by the side of Tundra and Fada. Just really I think the Tundra draft just looks super solid all around. I feel like I look at High Coast, it's just weird. It's got some points of synergy in it, but it's very single target oriented, and I feel like it's like, Chessie, you know, you're the team fighter. Like, you have to do a lot on this Enigma to make sure that this Monkey King and this Ursa can get out of control, because I feel like Monkey King and Ursa, kind of similar in a way. There's the laning matchups that they want to play against and how they want to play their style. Ursa wants to play a little more around Roche, but yeah, not sure. I just feel like it's a lot of pressure on Chessie.
I'm a little concerned too, because we're talking about how Chessie has all this pressure to be the one who, you know, starts these team fights or really gets into these nice positions. But you have to be very aware of the fact that there is a Nyx assassin who is going to be just hunting you the entire time, because they're smart on the side of Tundra. They know that that's going to be, you know, very, very important to them. And unfortunately, Era is going to miss that courier right there as he goes walking past it. But I have a feeling that Chessie's not going to be able to even get some of these black holes off. I think it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I'm feeling very similar about it all. And I did get, so JJ did respond to me, since JJ does much better research than I do with all that. Bounty Hunter is 4-10 across all of the regions. 0-4 in Europe and CIS at the moment.
Oof. Yeah, I definitely remember seeing a Bounty Hunter at one point during, I can't remember if it was CIS or EU, and I think they ran it in the mid lane too. It was not successful.
I mean, they're going to try this aggro, or this defensive tri-lane to secure Charlie's farm. So Chessie just has to play very passive bottom, play very careful not to lose his Eidolons, not to give too much farm to Skeeter, and they're just going to have to pull the lane on Viper, which they will be able to successfully get on Tundra. And yeah, they have to accomplish quite a bit here with the Grimstroke and Bounty. At least get themselves a kill or something to make this lane actually worth it.
It is such a hard lane to play into too. Just having that Viper there, just period, is so disastrous for an Ursa who just absolutely hates being kited.
Supreme misses the Boundless to get his Jingu stacks up onto 9. That was the 4th hit there that would have given him his charges, so he doesn't have that. And 9's played the lane pretty decently. He got a better block than Supreme, but it is a Monkey King advantageous matchup, so he's still doing just fine.
Top lane, Charlie is not having a great time here. Doing decent with the CS, but I'm sure is very, very annoyed with the fact that 33 is just constantly going to be spitting goo all over him here. Looks like we had a bounty rune left over. Man, they're not great about getting all the bounty runes, are they? It's the second time now.
So this is, now Chessie's just going to straight jungle, and they're going to give an absolute free lane to the Oracle and the Troll Warlord.
Yes.
So this is never a good sign when you're giving a free lane. Let's see if they can get any kills top to at least get something out of this.
And that
they won't be able to, actually. Ooh.
Yeah, he ticked down quite a bit. It was a nice impale coming out from Viper as they took a little bath and all that nether toxin.
So now I want to see Fada get this pull off. I want to see maybe even him hit, maybe he even hits the level 3, but maybe not even needing, and just go mid. Trolls alone, let Skeeter maximize, and you just go shut down the mid laner. If Enigma's just going to leave the lane, you just go ruin you've ruined Supreme's game. You can dispel the Jingu, and you'll just be able to set up for kills with 9. So I definitely want to see Fata look to make that happen.
That is a sad monkey when you dispel the Jingu. 33's courier, though, does get sniped here by Era. So a little bit of silver lining here. But this top lane is just not aggressive enough. I'm not seeing enough happening, really.
Not every time they try, Biver's been really good about setting and pushing it back. They're going to try again here with the Ink Swell and with the Swell.
All right. This is looking a little bit better for them. 33, though, with all that Nether Toxin. Fata making his way top. They will end up losing.
Pre-order now to enjoy exclusive gifts worth $356.
33, but they end up losing 9 in the mid lane, and now Era also falls thanks to Fata making this rotation. What happened in the mid lane?
It's a tough matchup. He just got Jingu'd up and then just gets boundless.
I guess.
I thought that's why I'd see Fata make the move over there to at least bail that lane
Right.
out, because it's going to be tough for the Void Spirit, but he makes the move top. He makes this executive choice to slow down the Ursa a bit. But eyes on him to make the movements and look to pressure the 2 lanes. And, I mean, this is the dream. Like, Skeeter's literally just going to have absolute free farm while an Ursa is contested.
That's an absolute nightmare if you're a High Coast fan. You know what happens when this guy gets farmed. He shows up and he just absolutely is a raid boss. He wrecks face. And okay, what do we have here? Oh, we have the mid thing going on here. So, all right, there it is. Yeah. So yeah, just gets his Jingu up, like I said. Top lane, another nice impale going off over here on Charlie.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Nice glyph there by Supreme, taking advantage of his Jingu with this Arcane onto 9.
A lot of movement here in this top lane. Looks like they're going to try to punish 33. They don't quite manage to land the Stroke of Fate, but they'll turn right back around, and they've got the root. This is not looking good for Charlie as another hit. 33 will be able to take down the Ursa Bear, although there's a rotation now coming out from Chessie. 33 will fall, and they get a kill on Zibe.
But this is an Ursa who's getting contested in farm, and as we said, like Skeeter, the world is his oyster of how he really wants to play and farm and choose what item he goes for. He's actually looking to get some bounties with his phase boots. He's being able to claim both of them. So they're getting all 4 bounties now with a free farm troll in the safe lane, and a pretty good game for a troll. They're having Supreme is still, of course, doing incredibly well in this mid lane, but yeah, this is a huge concern.
I mean, so yeah, Supreme's having a great time in the mid lane, but this Ursa is just not having much of a game. 17-3 currently as compared to 33 and 16 on the troll.
Yeah, look at his levels too, right? Like he's in a full tri lane. So Charlie, he's actually almost 5, which is better than I thought he'd be doing. Skitter's going to be hitting 6 any minute now.
Okay, Supreme making his own rotation here. Maybe hoping to get the jump onto Fata. Nice impale coming out though. Can they turn this around? They'll be able to hold Supreme into place. This is disastrous. He cannot afford to go down here, but he is.
Oh.
He will fall. His one rotation to the top lane. He can't even kill the position 5 fogged.
And now he just ruined his good start completely. Yeah. 9's gonna be able to catch up. Biver actually finds a free courier kill.
Oh, Charlie's right courier. Going from bad to
gold
worse.
lead already.
That is the face of someone who is very stressed out. My goodness.
Wait, did it show me? Because I'm stressed out too for him.
I'm sorry, Fogged. It's all right though. You can go cuddle your cat later on, yeah?
Yeah.
You're nice and cozy
9.
at home.
That's true. So we'll see. So Era, he's now, I mean, he's still only level 2. He's looking to try to make something happen, and the top lane is broken. Ursa can't lane there. Charlie has to actually move away. Viper's too threatening even. And any type of rotations, which it's going to allow them to do this now. All these lanes are breaking.
Surprise Fata didn't just go for the kill still there. Could have just easily hit the Purifying Flames. Bottom lane, though, they're trying to do a little bit of damage here to Skeeter. But I don't think this is a person you want to try to fight.
He's level 6. Maybe when the Monkey King starts to be respawning soon, then they can look to make this aggressive move, because Chessie is about to hit 6. So, okay, maybe they can actually look for Skeeter here as the Monkey is respawning. He does, actually, never mind, he has cooldown on TP. They still probably can't. Maybe they try, though.
Good try. Depends on who has the faster fingers, yeah?
XctN did burn a little bit of his mana with those axes, so he does not have mana for Battle Trance right now.
I think he's just going to play a bit safe, right? Like, you know that the Monkey King is back up again. You don't know where he is currently, so just kind of hang back, continue to farm. You've had a great laning phase. No reason to do anything risky.
A free laning phase, yeah. It's literal free lane. I haven't seen a lane being abandoned like that in a very long time. It's not too often. As yep, they're going to send Supreme back toward top. He's going to try to slow down this Viper. Has to be careful. Nether Toxin.
Swell plus the silence. Nether Toxin does get dropped, but this is not looking super great, although the rotation here from Viper, he's ready to just try to protect 33. Looks like he's going to be absolutely fine now that Fox has made his way up. Nine's here as well, and they're looking to re-engage. Don't have the Impale up for another couple seconds. Bottom lane, Skeeter is just being allowed to do whatever, although Supreme does make his way bottom, so perhaps we will see a black hole come out. Charlie trying to run away, gets immediately taunted in by 9. Doesn't have anything to back it up, though, and there it is. There's our first black hole, and this is looking like they'll finally be able to take down Skeeter.
Much needed kill. They're getting involved too, so he gets that much needed experience and a good punch back.
He's just having way too free of a time down there. They needed to punish him, but even then, I'm still not sure. He's very far ahead right now.
Yeah, now it's, I mean, black hole's down, and that's pretty much the only thing that's threatening him, and they're looking to make their own moves in mid.
Yep, this is a dead Grimstroke. Bye-bye, Zibbe. Poor Zibbe, he can't even walk to a lane. Like, there's 2 towers still up, Fogged.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's pressure on all fronts right now. Like, the Viper, we see 33 was just parking himself top. He's queuing up bots, so he can show up to all these fights. I think they're really feeling that they've got this huge momentum. It's going to be kicking off into the mid game very soon. Mid tower, getting lower and lower. Supreme, his tree's going to...
They have vision.
He almost got his tree cut. Now they're going to know there's a ward up on that high ground.
It feels odd to me, right? Because the fact that, like, High Coast, hold that thought, Supreme turns himself into a courier here. They were hoping that maybe they could grab this monkey. But it feels like a lot of the times High Coast, their drafts are meant to be very high octane, and they just never get the footing to be able to propel themselves and make these drafts work.
Yeah, and when you set up this, I mean, when you abandon a lane, there's no way you're going to have good footing in the into the first 10-minute mark here. Unless somehow you just smash the other lanes. As now Charlie getting surrounded.
Charlie is going to be able to run away here. But not the way you want to use that ultimate for sure.
Now he has to play pretty much in the jungle until that does come back up. Likely to see Viper still just continue stalking him as we do hit 10 minutes. So we do have tomes available, some bounties. We see Era able to take one away from the opposing side.
Ooh, double damage here over on 9. He's going to try to man fight Supreme as the rest of the team makes his way over. Era does get spotted out. They've got the dust as well. But looks like the side of Tundra going to respect this tower, keep their eyes on the prize. Got Fata nearby as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They can't lose this mid tower. You see them all setting up to defend this. They've got the Grimstroke at the back. This is a catapult. You see how hard they're forcing, just auto-attacking it. The Glyph comes out. They might have to just abandon this one. It's too low for them to defend. They'll lose too much.
Stack it. They have to stack it. I don't know what they do. Like, yeah, you can put your heroes around here, but they can't go toe-to-toe with this, especially they don't have Black Hole up. They don't have anything to really, hold them in place.
No, in Era, he has gone for the Max Janata build rather than going for the... I've seen it a couple of times, like the Max Shuriken. If you don't feel like you can actually walk in and commit. This might be one of those games where I don't feel like you can just walk up and hit people, so this build might actually hurt him a bit in the mid-game.
That feels so bad because that's what a bounty hunter wants to do, is just walk up and hit people,
Yeah, that's why he's 4-10.
Oof.
Not a fan of the hero right now.
Big bird.
I love him in pubs, like I said. I think he's amazing in pubs with the shard and all that, but I'm just yet to see its full potential in these, at least in the EU and CIS, because we've seen it just fall flat on its face.
Yes.
So 33, Boots of Travel finished, and Biver is 6 now for those Vendetta setups.
Look at this.
He's already seeing Zibbe.
He sees Zibbe, he wants this. He could just take him out pretty much by himself, but he's going to have a little help from 33. He'll happily collect that kill on the support era, making his way over here. Needs to be careful. They do have sentry wards over to the side. He's hunting Fata here, but it's going to need a +1 if he wants to do anything. In fact, he knows he can.
Ooh.
Boots of Travel picked up now for the Viper.
Up top, it looks like they were trying to set something up, a triple TP right behind the tree to try to go for this troll. Supreme's going to give information with Era.
There's no idea right now. Just be careful. Doesn't have anyone really nearby to help either. Leap down. Skeeter throwing out those axes will slow him down. The Battlist connects. So might have to go and pop that ultimate, and he does. He manages to get it off just in the nick of time. He'll turn right back around again. The black hole's over on the side, but where's everybody else? Where's their damage? It's not there as Eric goes down. Supreme now. Nice save here coming out from Oracle. He's going to try to man-fight Supreme here. He needs a little bit more help. He TP's out. Vivers here, though, is going to be able to go pop that Spike Carapace. A couple more hits. They should be able to take down this Monkey. Down he goes. Bye-bye, Monkey. And Skeeter is absolutely fine. Look how happy those faces are over there.
I mean, it was picture perfect, literal perfect momentum for him to get his false promise off. The black hole didn't hold him off long enough. An instant tip comes out from Fada. A huge win again from Tundra. And that was their black hole and their Wukongs to kind of bring them back. Now they're going to have, what, 2.5 million